This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
Live from New York, it's a show that is 100% locked in on Game 1 of the World Series.
Yeah.
Knowing that the winner of Game 1 has won the World Series 86% of the time since 1995. I told you guys that, and you scoffed at me.
So tonight will determine it. Is that what you're saying?
According to the statistics in history.
According to the statistics in history, over the last 30 years, 6 out of 7. Yeah, it's something. It's
really
not nothing.
It's something. It's something small, but it's something.
Yeah, it's something.
First hour, first things first, power-packed show today. Are we due for an epic game from Aaron Rodgers against his old team? He says it's not a revenge game.
Yeah.
But some people beg to differ.
This is another game.
Meanwhile, World Series Game 1, find out who has the most to gain and most to lose. In the long-awaited, probably too rarely utilized segment called Most to Gain.
Yeah.
I tried to make that a Friday segment, and you said no.
Correct.
And finally, well, it's the hottest segment in all of sports. It's Upset Alert. Could the Chiefs be on Upset Alert?
That would be a 15.5-pointer if someone's bold enough to go with the Commanders.
Wow.
And the end of Tackle That Turned the Tide.
Yeah, they lose this game. It has to die.
Again, you're saying something has to die that's a living and breathing thing that cannot die. It is a moment in time that changed the NFL season.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
But if they lose to the freaking Commanders.
If they lose, it will be a data point that maybe it didn't Tackle That Turned the Tide wasn't that. But it would not end it. But they're not going to lose.
But if they lose, we could point to anything and say that was the turning point.
Well, the Tackle Turned the Tide.
Like if they lose this game and go on to win the Super Bowl, we could point to anything.
No.
Or just say, you know what, they weren't that bad.
The offense was broken, and then Mahomes turned into a defensive player for a moment, and now the offense
Maybe it was
is
just
great
getting
again.
Xavier and Rasheed back.
We're starting with the Chargers' blowout victory over the Vikings. 27-point win. Herbert now 5-3. Carson Wentz was distraught. Here's Harbaugh postgame.
He knows.
A good plan executed with violence now is better than a perfect plan a week from now. You guys were violent. Well done, well done. Give each other a high five. Hey, fellas, charge your football, charge your football. Charge your football, we're getting there. We are getting there. I got one question for you. Who could possibly have it better than us? Nobody!
I don't know. The Chargers back.
Yes. You guys know, and look, I picked Minnesota to win last night, so I didn't think they'd be back. But this is a team, Nick, that I thought was one of the best in the AFC. I going into the season, I had them below the Chiefs and the Bills and the Ravens in that group, but right there. And I do think they're back to that. Mm-hmm. Joe Alt is the key. Like, I thought when Rashawn Slater went down, that's going to ruin the season. Then when Alt went down, that's just too much for this team to handle. Some have been able to handle that. They can't. And when Alt was back last night, they looked like a different team like they did earlier in the year. They're 4-1 when he plays, Joe Alt. So he is critical to them. He's critical for Justin Herbert. Herbert looked great last night. The run game looked great. Kamani Vidal over 100 yards. And the defense looked good. Like, that was the worst beating the Vikings have had this year.
Yeah.
And the Vikings are, I mean, Brian Flores, we know how good he is as a defensive coordinator. And they had no problems running through his defense in a variety of ways. So I do think they are back to being like bona fide playoff team. Obviously the Chiefs have looked better lately, but I think they're back to being like they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're better than Denver.
So I also think they're better than Denver. I would not, and I don't think you're saying this necessarily. To me, I am not putting them in pen in the postseason because they are, to me, a fickle team in that if they are not running the ball well, they can get beat by anybody. As good as Herbert is, and Herbert was pretty damn good last night. I think they got a little fortunate that opening pick got overturned. Right. I'm not quite sure why it got overturned, but it did. And I think they thought he didn't have
well,
I know why
but
they're
I agree.
saying
I thought it was a pick.
I thought that would be a tough one to overturn on replay. I thought that was a very traditional, whatever the call on the field would stand.
It looked like a pick to me.
To me as well. But regardless, they end up winning. They end up blowing them out. Maybe that changes the tenor of the game, maybe not. I didn't think they were going to lose that game. And had they lost it, my faith in them would have been close to zero because I don't think the Vikings are very good. I think that on a short week in particular, there should be a lot of advantages for the Chargers with the better quarterback, with, as much as I like Kevin O'Connell, the more seasoned coach, and the Chargers executed that. But if we show you real quick the AFC standings, it's weird because the teams that we naturally have the most faith in because of pedigree, none of them are in the top four. Oh. The Chiefs right now aren't even in the playoffs, and the Ravens, who the preseason favorites in the conference, have one win. So this is what I would say about my faith for the Chargers. This is how I kind of put the AFC playoff teams into buckets. Okay. As far as a potential playoff picture. Okay. I'd be shocked if the Colts, Chiefs, or Bills miss. I would be. I know, Wilds, you might think it's a little too much faith in Buffalo. I would be shocked if the Buffalo Bills miss the playoffs. Obviously, the AFC North is going to get one team. Or at least one team, I should say. I get it. That's a lock. Yeah. And then there are 3 spots available for the Patriots, who I think are the best of that group, the Broncos, the Chargers, the Jaguars, who I think are right now the worst of that group.
I think they might fall out of that.
Right, and then maybe one more AFC North team. Like, just leave it open to the possibility that the Steelers don't fall off and Bru's right that the Ravens, get red hot. Or the Bengals with Flacco. So point is, it's 3 spots for 5-ish teams. I am not yet ready to say I'm fully, even though I think the Chargers are better than the Broncos, that doesn't necessarily mean, given the difference in schedules, given the difference in record already, that the Chargers are going to finish ahead of the Broncos. Does that track to you? What, KW?
I didn't understand the graphic. It's okay.
What do you mean?
I just didn't understand.
There's 5.
It was like a tier.
I didn't understand the one lock and then the AFC North had another.
The AFC, I'm just saying there's 7 spots.
Yep.
Colts, Bills, Chiefs are, in my mind, definitely in, and we know the winner of the AFC North is going to get in.
Yeah.
And then there are 4 or 5 teams left for only 3 spots.
Okay. So just some AFC North.
Exactly
well,
right.
Possibly. It could possibly be a wild card.
Yeah, so sorry if it was confusing. I didn't mean it to be confusing. My point is, I just think in order to feel like the Chargers are definitely in, you have to feel like the Jags are definitely going to fall off.
Sure.
And the AFC North is definitely only going to have one playoff team.
Yeah. I could buy both of those.
Correct. In that case, then the Chargers, the faith that there'll be a playoff team is restored. If you think that, because that's the only 7 teams that can make it.
And that's because the Patriots have emerged as what looks like a playoff team.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're going to the Chargers play the Titans November 2nd, so we got a little bit of rest. Going to get us another win in Tennessee November 2nd. We're going to turn our attention to the betting scandal in the NBA, where Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were arrested on separate but overlapping cases that allege that they were part of a scheme to rig sports bets and high-stakes poker games. This broke yesterday, and we felt like we wanted some of the dust to settle before we commented on it. More news has come out since then. Nick, your reaction to this story?
Okay, so I will try to bullet point this as best as I can, but I also think, I obviously have a lot of personal experience in the poker world and in some of the high-stakes poker world that I think I can shed some light on some of this that maybe other people can't. First, let me do it with Terry Rozier, who's the only person of the three not alleged to be involved in the poker piece of it. The Terry Rozier thing is very straightforward and very, very foolish. It is, he is alleged to tell his buddies, friends, family, whomever, I'm going to fake an injury, bet my unders. And that is, not only is that, unethical and bad if it's true, it's also one of the dumbest crimes imaginable because anybody that knows anything about gambling, you are going to get caught for that immediately. There's not millions of dollars being bet on Terry Rozier props on a regular game. So they will immediately see irregular activity, and that's what happened there. The only news to me on the Rozier piece is the NBA investigated it and cleared him. That's concerning. If I'm being totally candid. Like the NBA did an investigation. Terry Rozier was like, we're fine with what we found. They cleared him, and it certainly appears that I read both full indictments. He looks to be in bad shape. I don't think people care all that much, not to be disrespectful, about Damon Jones. Full disclosure, I've known him since my days in Houston. We did TV and radio together. I know Brou covered him. Where he is relevant is he is a tertiary character around a lot of big teams and big players across the last 25 years of the NBA.
He among players, he's kind of like one of the more popular.
Correct.
He's definitely one of the more popular guys. He's tight with LeBron. He's tight with Shaq. Like, guys
100%.
love him. I covered him when he was with the Nets. Great guy. Worked with him at ESPN. I like him a lot myself, and he's a popular
I like
guy.
him too. He is. They allege they have texts from him about both of these scandals. And if the feds are right, he's in trouble. And then the Chauncey thing, where they are alleging two separate things on Chauncey. One is a March of 2023 Blazers game that they allege he let people know, knowing they would then bet against the Blazers, we're sitting everybody tonight. So the line, is right now is, I didn't look up what the line was, so I'm making this up. We're 7-point underdogs, but we're sitting everyone. It's going to go off that we're 15-point underdogs. Get your money in now. And people did that. They did sit everyone. It was non-public information. That is, for the NBA, for a coach doing that and then knowing his people bet it, in theory, if they were close in the game, you could do roster decisions during the game, is a cardinal sin. The poker piece is it's not complicated at all, but it is, and I just want to make sure the audience gets it. Illegal poker games happen all the time, but they're illegal in that it's basically an unlicensed casino, but they're not cheating. You understand the difference? Like if I hosted a poker game and took a cut of the money, that's illegal, but everyone is in a fair fight. They are alleging that Chauncey, in connection with the Italian mob in New York and the New York areas, set up a poker game that traveled around the country in New York City, the Hamptons, Miami, Vegas, and LA, where they had card readers, rigged shufflers, marked cards, and invited wealthy people.
See-through tables.
Yeah, invited wealthy people who then couldn't win. Because
they invited them based on, hey, you get to play with Chauncey.
And they used Chauncey as the kind of gave the game credibility and, hey, you get to play with Chauncey Billups. They allege this started back in 2019 and went on for years. And now where I can give, I guess, real firsthand information is just this. The private Los Angeles and New York City poker scene has been rife for years with be careful of that, and I'm not talking about Chauncey specifically, but be careful of that game. I don't think it's on the level. Anyone that plays in these games knows or should know what they are alleging here, people have always been worried about in certain games. So it wouldn't be, it is.
And they know which game.
No, well, you wouldn't play in it if you know. But my point is, what they're alleging here, it's not like, oh my God, I never knew games like that existed. Everyone knows that those types of games exist, and it's why people sometimes take the effort to go to Las Vegas and play in a casino because it's regulated and safe. I didn't know that Matt Berkey, who is someone I've played cards with that I do know, said 2 years ago, hey, there's a game where they're cheating in LA that Chauncey Billups is in. But he said that on his podcast 2 years ago. I was unaware of that. But it is, so that's the details. And the last extra thing I would add would be this. I would be surprised if there aren't more retired names that would come out on this. I do not think Chauncey Billups and Gilbert are the only prominent retired NBA guys who were involved in this poker scene that could be in real trouble.
One word comes to my mind with this whole thing, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form involved in gambling or anything like that. Greed. Because everybody involved in this, all the names and everything, don't need the money. And I'm not saying if you gamble, if you're rich and don't need the money, I'm not saying that makes you greedy. I'm saying when you are gambling in a way that's illegal and you know if you got caught, it could ruin your life, that's greed. And so I'm not just talking about the players or Chauncey. I'm talking about the sports leagues. When the professional sports leagues got in bed with gambling, they don't need the money. I get it, it's more money and everybody wants more. That is greedy. There's a reason that sports leagues shunned gambling for the majority of their up until a few years ago. Mm-hmm. They're now promoting it. They're in partnership with it. And the reason they did, Bill Bradley, who pushed legislation for this in the 90s, NBA Hall of Famer, was a senator. He said that he was pushing that legislation to safeguard the integrity of sports. And since gambling, the leagues have gotten in bed with professional gambling or sports betting, their integrity has now come into major question. There have been scandals in college baseball, college basketball, now obviously the NBA. In Major League Baseball, there have been some investigations and stuff. And I'm saying that because the leagues being in such cahoots with professional gambling and promoting it, marketing it, all that, during games everywhere, that has made gambling so mainstream and so commonplace, and so everybody does it, that there's no way that type of environment where everybody's doing it, it's not going to touch the players. There's no way it's not going to touch the players. Before, of course, this happened before gambling was legal like this and stuff, but you had to go into the shadows and seek it out.
Either had to go to Vegas or know a bookie.
Yeah, and now it is so in your face, and here's ways it can hit players. One, we've already heard players and coaches talk about people not only criticizing them at games, in arenas, but getting death threats. Even sometimes if their team won.
Right. They
didn't cover or prop bet or they didn't play a player enough or whatever it might be. So that makes it tougher on your players and your coaches. Mm-hmm. Two, your friends and associates. Your friends that you grew up with, they ain't making millions of dollars from the NBA or NFL or whatever it might be. So players could end up helping them out unknowingly. You my boy. Yo, so-and-so, they saying he out like a week, man, he ain't going to play for a couple months, you know. And one, that could be unknowingly, and your guy goes, you know what, let me, or it could be knowingly. Man, let me help my man out. He been with me since I was 6 years old. Like, yo.
Who's it going to hurt?
Victimless crime.
Right. Like,
that's what it feels like. Yeah.
So there's that. Then there is gambling debt, because players can gamble on other sports. So what if I'm gambling on college sports and I get in such debt that now I'm like, man, I got to get a way out of this. And here's an easy way. So, look, just come, any little information you can give me inside, you got them. And the fourth is blackmail. If a player has secrets, he don't want nobody to know about, but the mafia or whoever knows, or even your boy, a friend of yours knows, they could blackmail you. I'm going to let this out if you don't play along. Because some of these players, I mentioned greed, but some of this might also be blackmail.
Well, and
because some of these guys might, you're like, why would so-and-so with millions of dollars do this? Maybe there's all sorts of things.
I also think a lot of guys have made millions of dollars and don't have any money. And I think a lot of that.
I agree with that.
And I am a gambler. I have been a gambler since I was 12 years old. My dad was a gambler. My grandfather was a gambler. I'm a gambler. And so I feel a little differently about it than Brou on certain things. But I also am not ignorant to that there are real pitfalls associated with it. There's real danger associated with it. And one of the bright sides, in theory, of sports betting being legal was things like the game, the Blazers game that allegedly Chauncey gave inside info on. That would not have been found out without legalized sports gambling because there would have been no paper trail of bets. With legalized sports betting, there is a paper trail of bets, and in theory, it leads to, we can find the bad actors more easily. The flip side of that coin is, prior to league, you couldn't. A Terry Rozier under rebounds marketplace didn't exist for the guy you bet with at the bar on Sundays. And so I think for the NBA specifically, I think because they're not going to get out of bed with the gambling companies. I'm not going and I'm not trying to be a hypocrite there. I'm not even saying they should. I do wonder if they could talk to the gambling partners and say, hey, we want our player prop market to be one-way markets, meaning you can only bet overs. You can bet, will a player get more than 21.5 points or more than 8.5 rebounds, but you can't bet under because a player can't rig his, I guess you could play a different style or something, but you can't easily rig an over.
Getting more.
But you can, but at any time you can be like, my ankle, I'm out. So I think
make
that
sure you get fewer than 20 points.
Exactly.
And look, I tend to agree with that because if the leagues won't get out of bed with the gambling, then I do think there need to be more safeguards in place. Just like anything, whether it's alcohol, marijuana now, gun laws, like there's safeguards in place where you give people the freedom to do it if they want, but only to a certain degree. And that's what they need to do with this.
Okay. This is an ongoing story, obviously. If anything else huge comes out, we will cover it. We're going to move on to the World Series, Game 1 tonight. Dodgers in Toronto. Coverage starts on Fox tonight at 7 o'clock. Dodgers trying to gain their first back-to-back championship. Well, a back-to-back championship. Blue Jays trying to gain their first chip since 1993. But who has the most to gain? Well, Nick is here to break it down in a segment called Most to Gain.
Most to gain. All right, let's get right to it. Very unique A block. The little Chargers, a little big picture
Kinda
gambling
all over
stuff,
the
and
map.
a most to gain. I like it. I love it. Number 8. This is kind of sentimentality, but I'm putting Clayton Kershaw on there because there is, on the pie of potential outcomes, one of them is the Dodgers are dominating the closeout game of this World Series. They're up like 6 runs in the 9th. They say, hey, Clayton, go get us the final 3 outs for your final 3 outs as a Dodger. It's his final year.
Not Game 7.
Right, no, for real, seriously. The scenario is where you're up huge in the closeout game and up in the series, and they say this would be an amazing capstone to your career.
Be great.
Number 7, Coach Mangini. The only person on sports TV that believed in the Blue Jays all year long.
That's very true.
Number 6, Dave Roberts. Wilds, this would be his 3rd World Series championship as a manager. This is a crazy, show the list
Number
if
4.
we could, Dust. Here are 3+, if you have 3 or more titles, born in the last 100 years. I was looking up the guys with multiple titles. One of them was born during the Civil War. The 3 of them were born in the 1800s. Last 100 years.
Pretty cool.
Bruce Bochy, Sparky Anderson, Tony La Russa, Joe Torre, Dave Roberts joined the list. Pretty sick. Number 5, Canada. I'll be honest, been kind of an up and down last few years for our friends north of the border. It'd be nice to get a nice first championship if their baseball team in 30 years.
They can't not win in the Stanley Cup?
Well, more on that in a moment. Number 4, Mookie. How about this? Last 75 years, guys who weren't Yankees, who won at least 4 championships. Here is the entire list, and Mookie would join it. It's those 5 guys. Wow. And with respect to Jim Gilliam and Javi Lopez, none of them were MVPs.
Pretty cool.
So
yeah, he's the only.
You're right. The only like all-time great on that list. The Yankees obviously have a bunch because they won so many. Number 3, Vladdy Jr. Launch himself into true superstardom. I don't know if he's there already, but if not, he absolutely has an opportunity. His personality, his play style, all of it is magnetic. He's number 3. Number 2, little doubleheader. Freddie Freeman or George Springer. Here's the full list of multi-time World Series MVPs. Corey Seager, Reggie Jackson, Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax. With respect to Corey Seager, he doesn't really fit those other 3 as far as, all-time legends, but still, that's it. Cool. You have 2 guys now in George Springer and Freddie Freeman, and obviously Springer would be for 2 different teams that could do it. And number 1, obviously, the GOAT, per Brou, Shohei. They win back-to-back World Series after he goes there from Anaheim or from Los Angeles. And
does he have to play great?
No, I don't think so. I think his season, his MVP. I mean, he's going to win MVP. Mm-hmm. Plus the clinching game would do it.
I don't think he played terrible, but even just I think okay.
That one game
short
is
series. You play. Well, you got a sugar, you get a little spice. Now it's time for the most to lose list. Always a treat.
Yeah.
Number 5 on most to lose, Canadian hockey. The Raptors won a title. The Blue Jays might win a title. It's 1993. You haven't won a title, Canada. Get it together.
Well, they haven't won it. Is that true?
Canada has not won a Stanley Cup since 1993.
Oh, my goodness.
Incredible.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Same year the Blue Jays won, Canada also won.
Oh, I got to make fun of my Canadian friend.
It's 32 years.
Holy cow.
Number 4, KW.
Most to lose. What'd I do?
Well, 2 reasons. One is Mookie getting another World Series.
I count that as kind of like an emotional
understand you
win
would,
for
but
me.
here's the other thing, Brou. What is the only college or pro sport defending champion that Wilds all year long wasn't like, they're going to win it again? The Dodgers.
Yeah.
You abandoned Captain Easy stance at potentially the worst moment. Number 3, Dodgers bullpen. If they lose, they're going to be the reason.
Yep.
I see almost no scenario where the Blue Jays win the World Series, and it's not in large part because of them. Most to lose mainstay. Number 2. Michael.
I knew it was. I knew it. I mean, I gotta hear this.
What do you mean? Michael, Magic Michael, both MJs, both iconic, similar eras. Well, I don't know. How's post-career going? This would be 5 championships for Magic if they win. 5! I'm not even counting the Lakers championships. They won 5 with him kind of in tertiary role. Meanwhile, Michael, I mean, what are we doing? I'm just telling you.
Why are the facial expressions as?
I'm just telling you what they are.
Putting it in
NASCAR
Magic.
championship?
I guess. I trust Josh.
I think he might have.
I think it was Truck Series or
I think
something.
a few fishing
fishing.
championships.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a big time fisher.
That's right. That's
Number
He's a
1.
big time fisher.
Number 1, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. Oh.
Yeah. What if Shohei hits a couple bombs, wins a game in the World Series?
Throws a no-hitter.
Yeah. I mean, any of those
Poor
things.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah, poor Babe Ruth. That's the most to lose.
Okay, pretty good.
Yeah,
always excellent. All right, coming up after the break is Aaron Rodgers preparing for an all-time game against his former team. That's next on FS1 and the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. Finding a home is like dating. You're not just looking for a place to live, you're searching for the one. That's where Realtor.com comes in. Like any good matchmaker, they know exactly where to look. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, you could find your perfect match today. Ranch style with a pool, barn dominium with an in-law suite, Realtor.com's got them. Modern craftsman with a big yard and a treehouse out back. Realtor.com will have you saying, yep, that's the one. No more swiping. It's time to start finding. Download the Realtor.com app today, cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
Blue Jays, Dodgers tonight. Catch the full sit-down with Burkhardt and Ohtani tonight at 7 when World Series coverage kicks off on Fox. We're making our predictions a little bit later in the show.
Indeed.
Greg, is Greg in that segment, Greg?
Yeah, Greg's going to give a prediction.
You got to get your prediction. You're not in that segment they just told me, but I want you to be.
I got a prediction, though.
Greg Jennings is here, Super Bowl champion. Aaron Rodgers, an underdog at home against his old team Sunday night. He's been adamant that this is not a revenge game, telling Rob Demovsky of ESPN. They asked this week, is it a revenge game or whatever? What do I have to be avenging for? Sound like Brock Purdy, right? The Avengers, you know?
I get it.
Okay. Made me a ton of money. I grew up there, spent some of the best years of my life there. I've got nothing but love for the organization. He also said he was going to retire a Packer.
But that one was obvious.
Well, not according to everyone. Some people are like, Jets, hold it out.
How could anyone think he retires anything
some
but
people
a Packer?
told me to put it in the script. So more likely Rodgers has a monster game or just a disaster?
Monster game.
I agree.
Absolutely monster game. I honestly believe that there is no way that a disaster game is on the table.
Really?
And I know, hear me
Just
out.
Micah Parsons bullet, you don't buy that?
No, with the way that he understands and Arthur Smith and what they've been doing offensively, getting the ball out of his hands, like you can't make a vast amount of mistakes, a ton of mistakes getting the ball out of your hands. Now, in the games that he hasn't played well and they have lost, he did turn the ball over. The Green Bay Packers defense hasn't been great getting off the field. Aaron Rodgers, one of the things that I love about when you have these types of games, and Brou has kind of alluded to this as it pertains to Aaron Rodgers, is the bigger the stakes, kind of the better your stars play. Well, Aaron has kind of struggled, specifically in the playoffs. Well, this isn't a playoff game, and he's made it such a love fest to where it's almost like no animosity, no hard feelings, all these things. However, I want to stick it to you. So all week, you better believe he's been brewing some things up, prepping out of control, wanting to outplay his counterpart in Jordan Love, even though he talked about swapping jerseys, almost kind of like how when we heard the story about Kobe and Pau Gasol and when they were playing overseas in the Olympics, how Kobe said, "I'm gonna set the tone," but he softened them up pre-game.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Aaron's doing.
Oh.
He's softening everybody up
I love this.
to set the tone, and then he's gonna try to knock them out during the game. And he has the ability to still do that.
The Packers aren't going to fall for that, though. I'm just the players aren't.
Look, I get it.
Well, it's not even in Green Bay, so the players definitely won't. But I don't see a disaster game. I'm with you on that. I see him having a so-so game.
So you're saying neither?
A touchdown or two. Well, a touchdown, maybe two, 200-some-ish yards, 200-ish yards. But the most likely, I would go with you on monster game. And look, he's not going to throw for 300. I mean, he just doesn't do that anymore. Right. But I'm not predicting this. My prediction is so-so game and a loss. But I'm saying I do not, like Greg said, I definitely don't see a disaster. He's just not that, he's not going to go out there and throw 3 picks. He's not that type of player. But, so I would say monster game is more likely than a disaster.
So I want you to go, KW, because this is...
Because you looked at my paper, you know I had good stuff.
No.
You know I got gold here.
No.
I got gold here.
I hooked you up.
I hooked Josh up.
Hold on a second.
I see him. You were talking.
I did not look.
He was kind of gazing. You're a man of integrity. You snuck a peek or two.
Yes, but not because I wanted to steal from him, because I wanted to set him up. And then he started doing this, Brou, while you were talking, covering his paper like I need his notes, and it distracted me. But the reason I want you to go is on the Rodgers stuff the last couple of years, really post Green Bay, you and I have kind of been in lockstep. And then Brou has been more optimistic than others at times. Coach was very optimistic a couple years ago. Greg, it's kind of varied depending on the situation. But you have been maybe the most pessimistic.
Eye test.
But now you've all of a sudden flipped. So I'm confused.
Well, for a few reasons.
Okay.
One, once you get out of the Jets organization, good things happen. I don't think anything good is going to happen to the Jets. Two, as the editor and publisher of Hobble Watch, I am innately familiar with Achilles injuries and the timetable. And everybody says 8 months, a year, 14 months. Jason Tatum might be in the dunk contest. It's a 2-year injury. It's 2 years until you are back rolling. And I think he's looked better recently than he did at the beginning of the year. So I also believe in legendary guys. I just feel like we can't, being on this show, we've come like, I can't believe the legendary guy did legendary stuff. LeBron and Steph got together and had an epic performance that they weren't supposed to have on paper. So I think he is due for an epic game, even if he hasn't, he doesn't do that anymore. This is all I'm asking. Can he play better than Jacoby Brissett played? Jacoby Brissett threw for 279, 2 touchdowns, passer rating of 111. Flacco, another old guy, 222 touchdowns, passer rating of 91. Dak is kind of on another level at this point, but Dak threw for 19, 3 touchdowns, passer rating 125. Can Aaron Rodgers have a Dak?
So what's epic, though?
Look, if he threw 4 touchdowns against the Jets. Maybe that's a lot, but I think it's on the board that he has, when he looks back, one of the most memorable games of his career. I just
don't think he doesn't throw for big yards anymore. Right. Like the total yards thing can be a little tricky because have you played all the games? Have you had a bye?
Yeah.
So I didn't love how I presented the total yards thing the other day because it felt unfair because everybody hadn't played the same amount of games. But yards per game is fair. He is right now throwing for 211 yards per game. That is 4 more per game than Rattler, and it is less than the Prince, Flacco, Caleb, Bo Nix, C.J. Stroud. None of whom do we think are having great years. Mm-hmm. And so we are talking about it from Rodgers' perspective, and I get that. Man, this is absolutely a Matt LaFleur bulletin board game, too.
Yes.
And I understand he doesn't design the defense.
But you're right.
But LaFleur brought in Hafley, they traded for Micah.
Of course.
This is the game they've had circled as well. Yeah. And I think it is on the board that we get a strip sack early and this thing spirals.
Wow.
So
and
I think
disaster is more likely.
Really?
Again, I agree with you, Brou, that the most likely is neutral.
Yeah,
but
I'm there.
But of the two, you tell me, we're either coming in here Monday and he had 2 turnovers and threw for 180, or he had 3 touchdowns and threw for 310. I am going to say the former is way more likely.
But this offense hasn't been successful because he's been putting the ball in the air going downfield.
Correct. It's been quick.
Get the ball into my playmakers' hands, specifically DK Metcalf, and let him do the work. He's atop the league in yards after contact, yards after catch. So if you're saying that Aaron can't get the ball to DK, then yes, it's going to be disastrous. I believe he'll be able to get the ball to DK.
Ravens host the Bears. This is Lamar at practice, Brou, 3rd straight day practicing. Also just beautiful. I kind of want to take out my watercolor
set. That is a nice
just
look.
Paint that. That's lovely. Recent article. So that's storyline number 1, obviously. Lamar's back. That's kind of the big storyline. The other is a little bubbling storyline here, Brou. Recent article, of course, that the Ravens took all their stuff out.
Yeah.
You loved it.
The players, the leaders.
The players.
Not
the ping pong's gone. The cornhole's gone.
The video game.
Even pinball.
Brou, I don't think they had Space Invaders or Miss
There's a great arcade desk, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Miss Pac-Man, Space Invaders.
Oh, yeah.
I have that in my
You got that? Yeah, they probably got that there.
And in what might just be a crazy coincidence, it was a Snickers ad of the Bears just having some fun and games.
Yeah, it don't look like a regular Snickers ad.
So, Brou, your reaction to Lamar coming back and is the season back on track with a win? Also, just the funny coincidence of the Bears having some fun.
Look, Bears. I mean, I'm not an anti-Bears guy. I picked them to make the playoffs. Not smart. Not smart. You want to poke I get it. The Bears down. He's down. He's looking. He's been beat down a little bit. But you gonna poke him? Really? As if they weren't a great team just several months ago? As if they don't have the best quarterback in the league, or one, not the best in the league, but one of the best in the league coming back. Ravens, they think you are chumps. Yeah. They think you are chumps. They think you're done. So go out there and punish them boys.
The
all right?
silly Bears think the Ravens are the team they've been every week for 7 weeks.
But
That's the
Nick,
silly-
you
those
know
silly
that.
Bears.
Now here again.
Here we go.
Let's take out the Tennessee and Rams loss just because that wasn't the Ravens.
No.
They didn't have Lamar
the
Jackson.
Houston and Rams.
I mean, yeah. Houston. I keep mixing them up with the Titans.
Yeah. Well, they used to be. Remember the Houston Oilers? Tennessee Titans.
That's why. But take those games out because Lamar wasn't there.
Doesn't count.
Again, am I the only one
The Bills.
that says there's no shame? I get it. They're supposed to be on that level.
Yeah, you think?
But there's no shame in losing to the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Lions.
That does make sense.
And all of them were close except the Chiefs.
There was enough shame that after one of those games, you came in the studio in a hospital bed.
It wasn't shame. It was I got beat down. That's all. But look, if Lamar plays great and leads them to a win, will I have my faith restored in them? Yes. If, let's say they win 38-35. Lamar's great, but the defense isn't good. I will still have faith that they can make the playoffs. Because their next 4 games.
I knew this was coming.
Right?
Yeah.
Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, the Jets.
4-0.
None of them can punish their defense through the air, right?
4-0.
We can agree to that, right? Now, the other teams, though, Bengals, Steelers, Patriots, Packers, they could hurt them through the air. Yeah. So I will be like, okay, they can make the playoffs. It's going to be tough. But if their defense rolls,
then you'll
and Lamar, then I'm like, oh, they're definitely getting in.
Here's the thing. Leave that up for a moment. Okay, sorry, my bad. You see it too, I think.
I believe I do.
Put it up.
Even if they lose, Brou is gonna, by the time we get here Monday, he's gonna be staring at a Dolphins game on Thursday, and then the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy, and then the Browns, and then the Jets, and be like, I know it's bad, but they're gonna be 5-6 headed into the Bengals game.
Is that not likely?
I told you. I told you.
I mean, even so,
if they
right?
lose,
you can be like, Lamar was rusty, understandably.
Of course.
And
Are you already making excuses?
No, I'm saying I think they're going to win. I expect them to win, but
he's got a parachute ready.
We'll see.
That's all.
So, according
That
to
division
the
is
Athletics
forgiving.
Playoff predictor, even with a loss,
thank you.
28%. 28% chance they make the playoffs at 1-6.
Yeah, I told you. They're not going to give up.
Are the Cowboys going to put up an A game in Denver? Next.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. If you're hearing me, I'm going to assume you're awake. And if you aren't, because while you're snoozing, someone else might be finding your dream home. That's where Realtor.com comes in. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, that's a lot of chances to find the place you've been dreaming of. Whether you're searching for a 2-story mid-century with a pool or a little extra space with a spa-inspired bathroom, Realtor.com can help you find it today. So quit hitting that snooze button. Realtor.com isn't sleeping on finding your dream home, and neither should you. Download the Realtor.com app today, 'cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
Cowboys hit the road in Denver Sunday afternoon. You know, the road has not been kind to the Cowboys. Doesn't it sound like a song? 2-0-1 at home. They averaged 41 points.
Let that one go.
Andrew, bring out your guitar here.
In Amber.
1-3 on the road. They're averaging 24 points. Actually, still pretty good.
Yeah, the point is still good.
I know. What are your expectations for the Cowboys in Denver, Greg?
Well, I expect them to be kind of what they are on the right. And I know Nick is going to say, well, that's enough because there's more than 20 points.
That's your voice. You do sound
Look,
like that.
This one is tough for me because I like what I've been seeing out of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I do like who they are offensively, but you're going to have to be a little bit more in this game simply because when you go strength on strength, something's got to give. And I don't believe that the way that Dak has been able to be up in the pocket, not get pressured, not get sacked. I don't know if that's going to be the case in this game with how the Denver Broncos are able to put pressure on quarterbacks and get to the quarterback. And so that's why I say more to the right. And you think that it's going to just be a no-brainer that they score 20 points in this game?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Wow.
I'm not so sure. And I get your thought process of, they only have to get to midfield and then you got the biggest leg in all the games.
Prediction of the month.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a great prediction, but for me, I just feel like the Broncos and what they provide defensively travels on the road and at home.
Can I just ask you a quick question on that? Surtain's great. Cowboys at this moment appear to have two great receivers.
Yes.
So what are they going to do with the one Surtain's not cut? Whether it's CD or Pick, do you think they're going to do the old Belichick thing of put Surtain one-on-one with Pickens and then double CD and put that way? That to me is the real question is, okay, Riley Moss, I don't trust him on one of these other two, the one that Surtain's not
So
on.
I like the idea of you only travel if they're both on the same side.
Okay.
Otherwise, you shut down one half of the field because it makes it easy for the rest of your team, the rest of your defense.
Okay.
There should be anger in the Cowboys locker room.
This is great.
That's
You've
going
just
to
been
provoke
on fire
them.
recently.
That's going to provoke them.
Why?
This is true. We and other shows, all we've been talking about this week is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers against his old team, the Packers. Have we once? I haven't seen it on any shows. Maybe they've done it when I didn't see it.
You don't know what he's doing, Miles.
And this is a true homecoming. Javonte Williams? Javonte, has anybody made a big deal about you going back to Denver?
No, you're right.
I'm serious.
And you've always-
Javonte is having a Pro Bowl season.
That's right.
Javonte drafted 2021, I believe it was, by the Broncos.
Back when you were quietly a fan.
I liked it. He had a very strong rookie season. Not many people saw it. I saw it.
Right.
And I just put it away. Javonte Williams is a good running back.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt, and and I thought, okay, he hasn't been the same since the knee. But my point, they released him. Denver released you, Javonte.
Great.
They let you go. They thought you were washed, had nothing left. So I want Javonte and the whole team. They should be behind him. Javonte, we gonna go home and you gonna prove that they think you had it left. You have resurrected our team because they wouldn't be the same without that running game.
Wow.
So the Cowboys
that's a
gonna
big
cook.
statement right there.
Cowboys, you think they'd be the same without Javonte?
They've been relying on the pass game.
I get it. The pass. Dak has
over-delivered.
always been great when he's got a strong run game.
And you know who against that run game the Broncos are going to miss is Dre Greenlaw.
Yes.
Who with the suspended for going after the ref because in his defense, I literally just did what my coach did a minute ago. Nobody's mad at him.
And he got flagged for it.
Right.
Even though
my coach got flagged. I got flagged. I don't see you guys suspending Sean Payton for this. Why am I suspended? I'm really curious if Bo Nix can take advantage of the Cowboys secondary that's not going to have Diggs. Diggs is dealing with the concussion, right? He suffered the concussion at home.
Yeah, we don't know.
And so he's out. So I wonder, because the part of what's happened with the Broncos in these fourth quarters is Sean Payton has let Bo Nix throw more than horizontal passes or bombs. Like in the first, I watch these Broncos games really closely because I've bet against them most of these weeks, and it applies to the Chiefs, so I extra locked in on them. The first three quarters, all Bo Nix is throwing are these weird screens or swing passes or chucking it deep. And then in the fourth, when you are down, it's more of a regular passing offense, and he's been good at it.
Some of them have gone prevent.
Right, that part's true as well. And so, listen, I think the Cowboys are going to score 27, and I think that'll be enough.
Okay. Are the Eagles on upset alert? Breaking news, A.J. Brown out against the Giants with this hamstring. That's next on First Things First.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Live from New York is a show totally torn about their World Series prediction. I want to be right and interesting at the same time. I'm in a tough spot.
I would just lean into what you think is the most interesting because picking what you think's right.
That hadn't worked out too well.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah, I mean, just
Am I not in second place?
I'm not talking about upset alerts. Specifically, I'm talking about the lifetime standings of the show.
I'm in second.
You're in a distant third.
No.
For all predictions there are, you've never, buddy.
Oh, how's Shingun doing? Is he doing okay?
That's not
I haven't seen
how's
it.
Wimby doing?
Great call.
So that's
How's Trevor Lawrence doing?
Caleb Williams.
He's just okay. How's Mac Jones doing? Wow, he's 4-1. Oh my God.
Don't forget how high he was on Tua.
what? That's not
I'm a
true.
You were definitely high.
That's not
He's
true.
I'm into it. Well, he led the league in passing.
Hold on. That's
Wilds is
Greg.
Tua.
Stuff that happened back in the mornings does not.
Today, fresh edition of Upset Alert and Knicks Picks. Meanwhile, World Series Game 1 tonight, we make our picks. We're still doing research, even during the breaks. I'm looking at, are the Dodgers actually too good at pitching right now? Perhaps. They're going to cool off a little, but for right now, we're Giants Eagles. Sunday at 1 on Fox. There is breaking news. Here comes a breaking news bar. A.J. Brown out of that game. Eagles will be wearing their Kelly Green jerseys. Dusty wanted me to get that in so he can get some merch. Phillies' rushing woes gotten worse.
Gotten worse?
Gotten worse, believe it or not. I know you're thinking, man, their woes were pretty bad. Well, they got worse. Fewest rushing yards per game this month. Eagles at 50. Now they're under 55. Worse than the Titans and the Raiders. Yikes. Is this a must-win game?
No shame in being worse than the Raiders. They've asked
for Philadelphia.
I think it is, Brou. I think that even without A.J. Brown, who is, I know this was something that for you burned hot and fast, but a prime candidate.
For what?
A.J. Brown's hamstring.
Hey.
What's going on? I mean, it is.
How'd you?
I mean, a prime candidate, KW.
Hey.
It's a weird one.
Hey.
Nowhere. Because the weird. Let me just address that real quick, I guess. Tell me if I have this right. They played Sunday, obviously. Mm-hmm. Monday, you go to the facility, but you're not practicing. You're watching film or lifting weights or whatever. Tuesday's day off. Wednesday, he did not practice. Mm-hmm. So there was no practice between the game and when he missed practice. So he hurt his hamstring in the game, but I watched him in the game. And he was awesome.
Late in the game.
Late in the game, he caught
things like this.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking.
Where after the game, something you didn't feel?
Well, you play through, or if it happens late, you finish the game or whatever. But again, we don't see exactly when it happens. Maybe he'll speak to it, maybe he won't.
The only part of that timeline that I left out was the very ominous, odd Instagram post. So this is why
you don't want an Instagram post hamstring injury platter.
This is why brilliant television mind Kevin Wildes invented. Hey, what's going on? I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
With that said, Brou, you can't get swept by the Giants. And the Saquon stuff, Wild showed one graphic, I'll show another. It is jarring and concerning, and you guys know my opinion is I don't think it's going to get substantially better than this the rest of this season. Not the rest of his career, but the rest of this season. If it is going to get better, it has to be this week, where now you don't have A.J. Brown, and it's a revenge spot against the Giants. And so a team that you annihilated last year. So, yeah, I think it's a must-win.
I do agree it's a must-win. Like you said, you can't get swept by a 2-win team in your division, all right? And so that's number one. And then I've gotten big on the schedules lately. So let's look at the schedule. Look, you got Green Bay, Detroit, Dallas. I mean, the Bears are no slouch now. the Chargers,
Bears are no
the Bills, and the Commanders. I mean, at that point in the season, at least week 16, they may be fighting for a wild card spot or something. So you cannot lose a clear game you should win when you've got some of the best teams in the conference coming up. So, and then obviously in the league with the Bills. So, yeah, this is a must-win. I think, and I'm followed your reasoning on AJ. I don't think it'd be the worst thing for them to go out there and cook without AJ.
There we go.
I'm not saying you want to trade him. I'm just saying, give him something to think about.
That's where I'm at. It is a must-win for all those reasons, but when you listen to when Jalen Hurts was asked about the Instagram post and his response, my singular focus is the collective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If your singular focus is the collective, and the collective, minus A.J. Brown, goes out there after we see this using me, not using me, or using me, however it was phrased, and you actually execute at a high level, that sends a message not only to the collective, but even those who aren't always so collective within the collective, and that being A.J. Brown. Like, we all know how great of a player he is, but sometimes as a leader on this team, and I believe that Jalen Hurts is the alpha, is the leader on this team, you have to send a message. Like, it's not just solely about you. We want to get you involved. You will be involved. Should you be involved more? Possibly. But we can still go out here and we can go out here and play at a high level offensively and in the pass game, even when you're not available. I think that's important.
Can I ask you a question? Kind of off A.J. Brown. We don't really want to make him a story because he's not going to play this game, but he kind of is. The last two games, A.J. Brown, 10 catches on 15 targets, 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we're like, maybe he's not getting, like, is that a satisfactory?
Yes, but wasn't it? I mean, what in the last game?
He had 2 against the Vikings.
Right. So but
he still had 6 catches for 80 yards against the Giants. It wasn't, it was a loss, but he was still getting targeted. I don't know. It's not like
Which is why you don't need to be tweeting or Instagram posting using me, but not using me.
I'd like to see Saquon get going. He had a comment of like, we're winning. It's not how I want it to look. But he specifically said it's not the 2,000 yards. He's like, I hate that narrative. It's on me. Do you buy that? Or at least say, like he's addressing it. It's like it's not. I can still do it.
I don't buy that. I think it is. I think everything that happened last year has led to this year. And this is not supposed to, I hope this doesn't read as like a super harsh criticism because it isn't meant to be, because I think it's totally natural. But like Saquon going into last season had the team that drafted him basically be like, after you had an opportunity to sign him to a contract, didn't franchise tag him, and then lets him walk to a divisional rival. He has that extra motivation, and then also has the best offensive line he's ever had, I would imagine, peak motivated, gets the extra boost of, holy crap, this is what it's like playing for a good team. This is what it's like being on a winning streak. All of that working for him. Has one of the greatest years in NFL history. Then this offseason, he is more marketable than ever, has more stuff going on than ever. I don't know how much you guys listen to NFL radio. He's in a bunch of like audio commercials.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm the shushing champion and the rushing champion. They got all that, and the 480 touches, and you get paid again, and you're the champion. So it's all of that stuff. You're a little beat up. You have a little less of a chip on your shoulder. The offensive line's not quite as good. All of that is in a stew that has led to this. Like, I think he then bounces back. I just don't think it's going to be this season.
Quickly before we get to upset alert, and Greg, I want your take on this. I want this game, as like the Jalen Hurts guy, to be an attitude game.
What does that mean?
We're the champs. Don't go high-fiving the refs. Don't go do your little dance in our end zone. Don't rip your shirt off with Ryan Fitzpatrick post-game. Like, this has to be a game where the Eagles look like the world champions and the Giants look like a rebuilding team. And I think there will be a real test of the aura in the Giants, that after a heartbreaking loss in Denver, will they just fold if the Giants really if the Eagles really just control the game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And I said this earlier in the week. Like, that team embarrassed you and made you quit.
Yep.
Yeah.
They made them quit 2 weeks ago. They made that team quit. Now, again, you're getting reinforcement back defensively, especially on your defensive line, which is important. But now when that's happened to you, my sole focus is I want to make you quit.
Okay. Well, right now, it's time for the hottest segment in all of sports. It's Upset Alert. Before we get to the picks, I guess we have to do some housekeeping, as we say.
We should.
Are we doing the rules or the
I'll take it.
updates first?
So here's the standings. And what you'll notice is Brou made a pick. It lost. It lost with honor. I agreed with the pick, Brou. I apologize that you lost. Wilds, you're going to see, has 2 picks. Now, what's noteworthy about those 2 picks is New Orleans lost, didn't cover. The Giants did cover. You see he has 0 points. Coach also had the Giants. They did cover. He had 0 points. He had Tampa. They lost by more than that. They got 0 points because they tried to do some funny money of hey, I'm doing a 2-pick parlay double, which I thought we were past this, Greg. Yeah. But when you review the Upset Alert rules and regulations, you will notice there is nothing in there about parlays. There is nothing in there about extra picks. There is nothing in there. And you know why? Because it was always known that it is a singular pick environment.
I didn't know that.
You did know that, which is
There's
why
nothing
you
in there
said
against it.
before. Well, it also says it doesn't say in there you're not allowed to have a rhinoceros make your picks for you. It's assumed.
Fair.
So I don't want to have to go to this, and I also don't want to have to dock anyone points.
Okay.
Can you commit that this was a one-time error that then cost Coach? Coach was going to get a point. Coach had his pick in and then added in Tampa because he's jumping off the bridge. I'll jump off with him.
You're the leader of the show.
I do think, Nick, that Wild should be docked a point for taking away a point from Coach. I mean, that's what happened.
And Greg, for that matter.
Yeah.
I can't make that commitment to you right now.
That you're never going to do it again?
I can't make
You going to do it again today?
Are you going to do it today?
I am not doing it today unless something piques my interest.
Someone else.
I mean, what I actually did was piggybacked on Coach's thing.
Yeah, but that's not fair. Coach did all the research. Coach had all the smarts. Coach put in all the work.
I always say, defense wins championship. I
what
prevented
does that have to do with anything?
because
yes,
I was like a fullback clearing the way for Brou.
What does that have to do with defense wins?
Because I was playing defense to make sure Coach didn't get a point.
Okay, go ahead, Greg.
Okay, okay, I get it.
Well, we're going to do it the right way this week.
Thanks, Greg.
Straight up, coming off a bye,
This is a bizarre one.
the Buffalo Bills.
Love it. I love this.
I got the Carolina Panthers.
I love
love
this.
it.
I
This
love
is
it
on the
too.
board.
Because
Who
it
was
ain't
that?
got no chance of happening.
What is it?
You guys see?
What?
That's exact. You see how you guys got distracted?
Yeah.
Can I get the Buffalo Bills schedule,
Oh,
please?
look ahead
Oh, got
to
me.
the Chiefs. Oh,
You
I
see
do
who they
like-
play next?
Yeah, I do like that, Greg.
Even coming off the bye, we peaking like, man, dude. You know,
Love it.
I've been in these situations. Coming off the bye, you got extra time to practice. You know what? You look kind of see who you got next, see if you can get a jump on that team. Oh, yeah, you practice some plays just for the Chiefs. You saw some of their defenses. You put those in. You're looking ahead. And guess who's not going to look ahead? Those Carolina Panthers. Because they've been pretty good. Now, when you look at the Buffalo Bills defense, they have struggled. I mean, when I say struggle, the stats don't lie. Last in opponents' yards per rush, rush yards per game, 30, and look at that bottom look, Panthers, 193.3 rush yards in the last three games. They're even better at home, Brou. 3-0 record at home.
I love this.
Averaging 29 points a game. Their rush yards are even more impressive at home. Most in the NFL. And guess who just might play? That gives me a little bit more of excitement.
Oh.
I'm not going to lie.
Andy
Dalton might play.
He's definitely playing.
Yeah.
Is it?
He might play. And you know what will be happening if the upset bells are ringing and chirping, it's going to be like this. Sweet Carolina. Good times never felt so good.
Who sings that?
I've been
I think
inclined
we're going to get in trouble, Greg.
to believe in you, and I never thought I would. Carolina Panthers with the upset alert. Let's go.
Who sang that?
It cost us $15,000.
Don't worry about it.
I think Journey, right?
No,
No, it wasn't Journey.
I'm supposed to
I
know.
don't think it was
like a big-
Journey. I have no idea. It wasn't
I just
Journey.
what's the? I'm sorry.
Neil Diamond.
Diamond,
Was it Neil
yes,
Diamond?
yes, Neil
Let's
Diamond.
keep it that way.
Oh, that's
see,
why.
He's
You
used
did
that.
all that
He's
just
used that one.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
It hurts my feelings.
I like his pick too, because it ain't got no chance of happening, all right? And this is where I make my move. I said it earlier.
Okay.
Dallas.
Oh.
I don't often ride with the Cowboys. In fact, I may have never ridden with the Cowboys on an upset alert. But Denver has been living dangerously.
You think?
Very, yes, absolutely, Nick. Look,
Who's Rick?
the Jets, if the Jets had, I'm not even going to insult Justin Fields, if they had any offense, they would have beat them.
Yep.
They lost 13-11. All right? Last week, I mean, my goodness, it took a historic comeback and collapse for them to beat the freaking Giants with a rookie quarterback. All right? So Denver is due for, they won 4 straight. Do we really think they're that good? Where they're going to go on 5 and 6,
Yes.
5 and 6 in game win
like
streaks?
it.
I don't think they're that good.
I agree.
And Dallas is cooking, and like I said, they have extra motivation because Javonte Williams is back as a homecoming. Back in Denver, they released you. They thought you were done. Cowboys, you can give me the points now.
Well, I don't think that's.
I mean, we shouldn't, but I understand what his
Oh,
point
this,
He agrees
well,
with
you must have them in your.
I'm just. It's,
But we'll
I mean,
wait.
It's a
We'll wait.
savvy pick.
I'm going the
Thank
full
you.
way today. It's time for the Puxatawny Phil of football
Let's go.
to make his upset alert pick. Why do they call you Puxatawny Phil of football? It's because you live in a log covered with fur and you eat like this? No. It's because I can.
Why did you add?
I'm trying not to.
Why did you add? Why did you add that?
Honestly, I didn't. When I eat alfalfa, that is how I eat. It's upset.
You had to just wing that. That came to you right there.
It's upset alert. Okay.
No, he planned it. He was in the mirror for 10 minutes seeing how it looked.
Here we go. Don't. This is a new catchphrase. Don't underestimate all-time legends. It's a pretty basic. Is there an all-time legend playing in this game, in a game that really means a lot to them? They're probably going to do well. Oh, remember that game that meant a lot to Tom Brady where he absolutely stunk? I don't. Hey, remember when you wanted Tiger Woods to show up and he just, hit the ball into the woods? Nope. I don't remember that either. Not at all.
I remember.
Aaron Rodgers is old. Yes, he doesn't spin it like he used to. I get it. He's got one totally healthy Achilles and one that's almost healthy. Nevertheless, the guy is a legend. And this game means a lot. No, I love the Packers. I'm going to retire in the Packers. I like Jordan Love. Dude, you got fired from the Packers. Not a big deal. You got fired from the Packers. You had to spend 2 years with the Jets that you didn't like. And you're an all-time legend. Don't underestimate all-time legends. I know the yards aren't great.
Yeah.
But recently, and I don't have a cute catchphrase, maybe I will put it on the podcast. Last 2 games, he's been throwing it a little bit deeper.
A lot deeper.
And more often.
Yeah.
So now he's up to 242, air yards per attempt from 5 to 8, and percentage of time he threw deep went from 5% to 14%. That's pretty good. Passer rating, really good. 2 pass touchdowns a game. Look at this list. Wow. Rodgers, Mahomes, Lamar, everybody's All-American, Dak and Goff. I don't think if I was just like name guys who are having good years, you would be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers. This is also like a sneaky MVP case. And finally, all the Packers, Micah Parsons, this defense, da-da-da-da-da-da. You tell me. These are how quarterbacks have fared against the Packers in the last 3 games. Dak, you want to say, oh, it's just the Dallas defense, the Dallas offense, it's prolific. It was 40-40 tie, a strange game. Okay, why did Flacco dice them up?
I don't know if I would call that dicing.
219.
They gave too much to Flacco.
Yeah, in his first game.
He has great receivers.
Yeah,
something.
The best receivers.
Something.
All right, how about Jacoby Brissett? 280? Something.
Yeah, something.
All-time legend, throwing the ball a little bit more, got something to prove against a Packers defense that's overrated. Epic Aaron Rodgers game incoming.
Time now.
Second hottest segment in all sports.
Right now, it's not that hot.
Oh.
We got to rally, boys. Well, okay, well, hot.
We're back.
Can we show last week? Last week.
Don't get
I was
stressed
just
out.
There it is. Bad. It was bad. It was bad. The Giants was a good pick. That was obvious.
The
Titans were up. Titans were up 10-3 after the first quarter. I'm catching 7, and Cam Ward, who Wilds told me was going to be in the playoffs,
not against the Patriots in Mike Vrabel revenge game, obviously.
You know how I knew the Jets were? I was in trouble on that, Brou.
Wow.
The Panthers scored a touchdown to go up 10-3 in the second quarter. And I turned to Deanna, my youngest, who was watching with me. I said, I just lost my bet. She said, why? I was like, there's no way the Jets are scoring a touchdown. Then I saw Justin Fields go out of the game, and I was like, maybe they'll score a touchdown. Sorry, Justin, I know it's been a tough week, but it's what I said. The Tyrod then threw to the other team. But still, 10-11, scuttling, not a disaster.
Pendulum swings back the other way.
We need a 3-0 week. We've been searching for it all year. A bunch of 2-1s and 1-2s, no 0-3s, no 3-0. 3-0 right now. Starting with fading a team that hates each other, the Miami Dolphins. We will lay the 7.5 with that Falcons defense, with Bijan Robinson running against that Miami non-existent run defense. Falcons, top 3 in the league pass defense against Tua, whose coach, by his own admittance, would just be happy if he threw 7 interceptions, just not 10. And Tua, 9 even. Sure. And Tua, who is just like, hey, guys, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm not that tall. I have a hard time seeing receivers. I don't totally understand any of this, but it's what he's doing. Also, battle of 2 lefties doesn't involve anything to do with the pick, just interesting.
You saw Penix. Questionable, is it?
Well, I'll be totally honest with you.
Kirk Cousins.
I might prefer if Penix doesn't play. But either way, I'll lay the 7.5. Wow. Next, sorry, KW, we're going against each other.
Oh.
Packers laying 3.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Laying points against Mike Tomlin and when he's at home is typically not a winning strategy. However, I think Micah Parsons is going to be the legend that has the biggest impact in this game. I understand he's not quite legendary yet, but he will be at some point. I also think Green Bay knows that Pittsburgh wants to get the ball out of Aaron's hands quickly. I think they'll have a plan for it, and I think Matt LaFleur has had this game circled for 6 months to try to dice up a Steelers defense that is probably not as good as he anticipated it would be. And then last but not least, Brou. Cowboys outright plus 3.5 against the Packers. Greg was right. I am going to point out they're going to score 20 points. When the Broncos give up 20 points, they don't win games. I also think that the Broncos playing this level of just anemic offense through 3 quarters has to catch up with them at some point. I think the Cowboys are going to be able to score at least 27.
I like this.
Certainly to cover, and I think they can win outright. So, 3 picks. Laying 7.5 with Atlanta, laying 3 with Green Bay, getting 3.5 with Dallas. And in light of Wilds breaking the rules last week, this won't count for the standings, but I'm making a bonus pick as well. Wow. George Springer, World Series MVP at 11-1.
Oh my goodness.
After being the hero in Game 7, a World Series MVP before.
Wow.
George Springer, World Series MVP, which probably gives you an idea of who I think is going to win the World Series.
I like that. Want to hear a factoid to break?
Yeah.
Packers haven't won in Pittsburgh since 1970.
Can I tell you
Bart
what?
Starr outplayed rookie Terry Bradshaw.
Can I tell you something about that? They play in Pittsburgh once every 8 years.
Well, it's still 1970. That's me eating my alfalfa.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to First Things First. Huge day of football tomorrow, right at noon. Big noon kickoff. UCLA versus all of a sudden number 2 Indiana. And our guy, Curt Cignetti.
My guy.
Then at 3:30, BYU, number 11 against Iowa State. That is all tomorrow.
I'm interested to see how the new and improved UCLA looks against Indiana. Like that, I understand seeing a number 2 ranked team against an unranked under 500 team sounds bad. That actually is going to be really interesting.
Could also be a wipeout.
Yeah. It could be, but that UCLA offense with Jerry Neuheisel Jr. kids.
They about to get smacked.
Okay.
No huddle time. Chargers moved to 5-3 with a win over the Vikings. Chiefs sitting in 3rd place. But everyone fears the Chiefs. They are 12.5-point favorites when they host the Commanders. Nick, do you expect the Chiefs to keep rolling?
Oh, listen, obviously, post-tackle to turn the tide. Everybody knows I'm going to say yes to that. So I want to hear what Brou and Greg have to say, because I have something special for the audience.
Oh
wow.
I do. I have something very special for the audience.
It's going to be horrible.
It's not going to be horrible. Go ahead.
I do expect them to keep rolling, especially, the Commanders know Jaden Daniels, so you're talking about Marcus Mariota playing quarterback. And look, for the Chiefs, the fun has just begun.
Oh,
wow.
The fun has just begun.
If I'm the Chiefs, we got our whole contingent of receivers back. I'm excited. Let's cook. Let's get ready for the playoffs. So I think they're going to go out there and roll.
Are you a Chiefs believer again, Greg? It's been a couple years.
So let me say this: I've never not been a Chiefs believer. I just really like to counterpunch you.
See, you say that, but then when they win, you send out mean tweets about me.
Well, that's because I gotta dig at you. But here's the thing: I do expect them to keep it rolling, and I'm with Brou on this one. Like, I know we were excited about what we saw out of Rashee Rice. I think we're going to see even more.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of his catches, a lot of his even targets were 4 or 5 yards near the line of scrimmage. I think that starts to expand. You do that with him, and now it really opens up everything else. The one thing that I think is really going to happen with this team is they're going to actually get their running game going.
Oh, that would be great.
Because as much as we've talked about Pacheco or not, like, he's gotten better and better and run and he's starting to break those tackles that he once did and get those extra hard-earned yards that we once came to love about him. He's starting to do those things all over again. If that happens, it's going to be hard to beat.
You also think that's because of the passing game?
Absolutely. You have to be mindful of all these weapons that they have, and so it puts so much stress on you as a defensive coordinator and as defensive unit. You have to leave something unattended, and that's their running game.
So this is what I have special for the audience, because this is very interesting. This is a revenge game show, Brou, because you talked about Javonte Williams. We've talked about Aaron Rodgers, even though he doesn't want to talk about his revenge. Mm-hmm. This is the biggest revenge spot of the weekend. The Chiefs and Andy Reid against one of only 3 active quarterbacks to knock him out of the playoffs, Marcus Mariota.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Because
I don't know if that's on the board.
the last time Marcus Mariota played Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs, this happened. One of the most devastating moments this is a playoff game the Chiefs are winning. Touchdown to himself.
That was sick.
Touchdown to himself. And that's not the jarring video. Don't roll it yet, Dust.
Alex Smith?
That was Alex Smith. That was also the final playoff game in Chiefs history that was started by someone other than Patrick Mahomes. The jarring video, and this is, something I may regret. But for new viewers to First Things First, this show's been on a long time. Here was how pre-dynastic Chiefs era Chiefs fan Nick Wright looked and sounded after yet another heartbreaking playoff loss. I should know it was coming. I told you I shouldn't buy into this team. I told you I shouldn't put my faith in this team. That was me. That was me.
I didn't know you could talk like that.
That was me talking about the Chiefs in the playoffs. I knew I shouldn't buy into it.
That's more jarring. Less the visual and more that you not believing.
Exactly. That's how much Patrick Mahomes has changed my life.
actually a good one.
Mahomes has never beaten Mariota. He's never played him. The last time Mariota played the Chiefs, that happened. Little get back spot.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was
More
a treat.
motivation.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
That was good.
That was pretty good. Let's head to the AFC East. Bills are in Carolina, which is Greg's upset alert already. Patriots hosting the frisky Cleveland Browns and that tough defense. Greg, we'll start with you again. Which team is going to look more like contenders?
Well, clearly it's going to be the Patriots for me, and it's not just because I picked the Bills to be on upset alert.
Thank you.
But even if they were to win, we would be like, oh, it was the Carolina Panthers. That's what everybody would say. But when you look at the Patriots and who they're playing, the respect comes because of what we feel that defense is, and it's really good. And if your guy, Drake May, is able to perform at a high level against that defense, then yes, he should be on every Bru's ballot here on out. And seemingly they have their quarterback of the future, and he's going to be one of the best. He would be trending in a direction of being one of the best quarterbacks in the game.
Yeah.
And so that's what we would start saying about Drake May and this offense if they are to show up and they are to handle this defense. Because if we remember, like, this defense played against Jordan Love and played well. They played against the Bengals in week 1 and should have won that game. They played against even your Ravens and was 20-10 all the way at the beginning of the fourth quarter. So they played really, really sound football. And if the Pats, knowing how good this defense is, comes out and they continue to roll the way they've rolled, yeah, man, they would look like contenders.
Love it.
No, I agree with the Browns. You're talking about the Browns. I mean, the defense is good. Defense is legit. I think their numbers aren't as good as they are because they're on the field so much. They don't get much support from the offense. So it would be impressive, but I'm going to go with the Bills. Like, the Bills, obviously that Ravens win isn't aging well at this point. So if you look at that game and say, was that impressive?
They haven't beat
because they
anybody.
got beat up most of that game too. Yeah, it's like they haven't looked good all year. Correct. Essentially, even some of the games they won.
Yeah.
So coming off the 2 losses, I mean, they know that as well, I'm sure. I would imagine this week was really a lot of soul searching and like, look, we have to get it together. So 2 losses, a bye. I can't imagine them not coming out and playing well. So I think the Bills are going to look good.
So I agree. I want to talk to you.
Oh, sure.
Because I've been riding with you with the Patriots this year.
Mm-hmm.
I picked them to make the playoffs for the year. I believed in Drake May going into the draft.
Yeah.
I didn't care as much as some about his numbers last year because it was about traits and about what we saw. Sure. And I think I said the other day, I think I said that I trust them more than the Colts at this point in the season, even though the Colts have a better record. And Greg got mad, and Greg be tweeting to Indy folks all the time. Why doesn't Nick do all this? I see it all, Greg. I said alert. With that said, I'm a little worried you have accelerated the timeline in your head of contention for your team.
Oh, no, 5-2. We can put
I
believe we're in second place.
I'm a little worried that you are already on like where you want the Patriots to be in year 3 of the May-Vrabel partnership right now in year 2, and you're setting yourself up for a little disappointment. Like, I don't think you've spent 1 minute this week considering, what if we lose? And I think, again, I didn't pick the Browns even plus the 7. I'm not saying they're going to lose. But I don't think you guys have graduated to the stage of, we can't lose. We're at home against the Browns. We can't lose. Right. And so that's, and I know you right now, I think also believe the Patriots are just flatly better than Buffalo. And I understand they beat them head-to-head.
Yeah, beat them head-to-head.
But so my answer is the Bills, and I just want you to temper maybe a bit of the accelerated timeline.
You can hold 2 thoughts at the same time in your head, right?
Yeah.
So have I discussed with my children, could we catch a flight back from San Francisco for the Super Bowl so I could be here on the show and they could get to school? We've discussed it in a real way. Not joking around, just looking at logistics. Yeah. And I'm like, well, Fox doesn't have the Super Bowl, kids. They're like, okay. That has happened.
Yeah.
And the same time, next to that thought, part of me thinks, you know what? Patriots flying too close to the sun. They're too high on their own supply. Let's just temper expectations. That being said, we are coming in back to Foxborough on we won three road games, so we're like, oh my goodness, we are actually not good at home. We haven't been good at home in a long time. So it'd be nice to get a win at home. I do not believe that Dylan Gabriel, I think he's going to give us one. So it's almost like we get some sort of, however much that's worth in the gambling world. I think he's going to give us one. I'm not as afraid, and these could be terrible last words, I'm not as afraid of Myles Garrett than maybe I should be.
Why?
Because Drake has been excellent under pressure. Can we show the numbers of Drake under pressure? Completion percentage is best in the league. Yards per pass, second best. Passer rating 104, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Part of this is because I think Josh McDaniels is really good. Part of it's I think he has matured so he can identify stuff. Part of it's like maybe it's, I don't know what the pressure is, but like I think Will Campbell in the line has been solidified. Part of it is he's as fast as Michael Vick and Randall Cunningham.
No, he's not as
fast as Michael Vick and Randall Cunningham. That's what it
he's
says.
not as the stats where he used to have the yards per rush.
Michael Vick.
Not as fast.
Call Michael Vick.
Okay.
Let's have a race.
Yeah, let's do it.
I saw it in Atlanta.
Okay, all right.
So I think, like, worst case scenario, it's just I think he can get out of the pocket, and I'm feeling confident.
Okay. I'd be worried about.
But Drake,
I'd be worried
would you be
about
worried if Randall Cunningham was back there?
He's not Randall Cunningham.
What are you talking
about? And
about?
he takes bigger hits than Randall ever.
The hits need to stop.
You saying you're not that worried about Myles Garrett?
Bad.
I could see Myles Garrett. I could see Myles. You replaying that in your head while we see Josh Dobbs warming up on the sideline.
It's not great.
Because something Myles Garrett did. I'm just telling you. I'd be worried about that.
I'm worried about Myles Garrett, but not
scared of him. I get it.
You got Randall Cunningham, Michael Vick.
Okay.
It's just the graphic. It's just the graphic, guys. I don't know what you want me to say.
It's not even the graphic anymore.
2 versions of Michael Vick, Atlanta and Philly. Is Brou dusting off the robe if the Ravens beat the Bears? We're just dying for this bit to come back. And that is the 5th time we've run that in the last 3 days. More first things first after the break.
Introducing Oakley Meta Vanguard, the new performance AI glasses designed for athletes. With hands-free capture on an action-ready ultra-wide camera, powerful open-ear speakers, and built-in Meta AI that syncs with your Garmin devices for real-time insights while you train. Take your performance to the next level with Oakley Meta Vanguard. Athletic intelligence is here. Learn more on meta.com.
Tonight, World Series Game 1. Dodgers, Blue Jays. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Burkhart has that good interview.
I can't wait.
Ohtani.
Well, more than 2 studs. Yeah, you got it.
I'm excited.
I can't wait, man.
No, it's going to be a great series.
Can I say something?
And no mystery.
You can say whatever you want.
I'm not picking up the kids from anything.
Oh, during the game?
No, even during the pregame.
Oh,
yeah. He's at hockey. Okay. Ever heard of a taxi cab?
Wow. This is where
I'm locked in.
Brou, can I tell you something? Wilds is taking tremendous advantage of the fact that his wife would never watch this show. He's really flexing the muscle of
Bradford, New Hampshire. You gotta come home. Welcome back to First Things First. Bears Ravens.
What's this?
This is new footage of Lamar practicing.
That's what this was like practicing.
I gotta be honest, I'm not in love with that.
Well, it's just fresh footage. He practiced in full, but listed.
The guys are over there. See the left corner? That's where everybody's at. That's Lamar. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Brou, are you willing to guarantee a victory here?
I'm gonna shock y'all. No. I expect a victory.
Okay.
I am willing to guarantee that Lamar, I think he'll play great. And I think the offense will cook.
Even if he's not 100%?
If they put him out on the field, I think I don't think they'd put him out there if he was in danger or not able to really cook. I think they're going to cook. And like I said, I fully expect them to win. I will be surprised if they do not win. But while I hope the defense has turned it around, I mean, I got questions about the defense. I mean, they've had one good game.
That's what we've been saying.
No, y'all haven't even been giving them credit for that one good game.
Well, we haven't said it was, they're the defensive version of the tackle that turned the tide. We certainly aren't saying that.
I'm hopeful on that defense. We're hopeful, really optimistic, real talk. Because they did it last year. They turned it around. You got the bye. You got the toys out of there. It was all about football. I'm optimistic on that, but I'm seriously expecting to win.
Can I make what I will guarantee? I guarantee that contrary to who was it that had even if they lose 28% to make the playoffs, what provider or whatever?
Athletic.
The Athletics. The Athletics
predictor.
Analytics model says, I am guaranteeing you if they lose this game, their season is over.
Oh.
If coming out of the bye with Lamar back against I think solid, but certainly not overwhelming team in your building, when you are 1-5, you can't win. You are not then about to rip off 8 of your next 10, which is what they would have to do. And so I do expect Baltimore to win. I don't think it is going to be a blowout or demonstrative win because I don't think the defense is good and I don't think the offense is going to be as good as usual because I think a guy missing 3 weeks, guys never look like their peak selves after missing 3 weeks. And so I just don't think they're going to get peak Lamar, but I think they should win. But if they lose, Greg, I just think they're done. I don't care that they can then beat Miami on a Thursday. They're not coming back from 1-6.
Yeah, which is why, I'm shocked at Brou. I'm guaranteeing to win. They have to win this.
The Ravens guy.
They have to win this because that's how I look at the season. That's how they're not going to want to look at it like that, looking at it in a bulk version. They're going to want to go.
But they have to win their next 5.
Exactly. They're going to say one game at a time.
In the locker room, are they talking like we are like, look, this is the game to turn it around?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're getting the guy back. You listen to Derrick Henry, anytime 8's on the field, we got to when you have lost, you kind of omit those losses because of Lamar. So now when you look at this team, you can't omit any opportunity for them to now win just because, you know what, the defense, but Lamar is on the other side. No, they have to win this game. And if they win this game, then they can start stacking success. If they lose this game, I'm with Nick. Done. You can keep the box of goodies for Brou's bit, put away.
Wow. If they lose, this will be the 3rd bit that we retire, including Trevor's buglers.
Well, hold on.
The Miami breakdancers we haven't had.
The breakdancers are retired because that team's done.
And
the Jags are still in the mix. If the playoffs started today, the Jags would be in it.
We just don't know if they're editorially relevant.
Well, again, they might not be right now, but they're not retired. If the Jags make the playoffs and, I don't know, Trevor has another one of the 4 greatest comebacks in playoff history, I think the Buglers will be out here.
The Ravens bit will not be retired until they're mathematically eliminated.
But if
I get what Nick and Greg are saying because it's true. If they don't win this game, it's like how good
we
are
have
they?
a chance
But
on Friday
I'll keep the faith.
to have the breakdancers and Bru's bit.
Oh.
Ravens Dolphins.
The breakdancers didn't totally.
That's a retirement pick. Hey, World Series picks coming up next. Greg, quickly.
Who you got?
Stay tuned. OT.
Okay.
Wie wäre es, weniger Zeit mit dem Einkauf zu verbringen und dafür mehr Zeit für deine Lieblingspodcasts zu haben? Mit dem Rewe Abholservice geht das. Bestell deinen Einkauf einfach online und hol ihn bequem und fertig gepackt im Markt ab. Natürlich ohne Mindestbestellwert. So bleibt dir mehr Zeit für die nächste Podcast-Folge oder deine Lieblingstracks. Jetzt ausprobieren auf rewe.de/shop oder in der Rewe-App. Dein Rewe Abholservice. Online bestellen, im Markt abholen.
World Baseball Classic. We faced each other.
He strikes out swinging here.
And with Kansas City this year. Why do you throw so hard to me? Why? Why do you hate me?
It's a really good hitter. I have to.
It's not good enough. You throw too hard, Shohei.
The pass squatch. He mentioned that Ohtani threw the 2 fastest pitches of the year, I think.
That he's thrown, that Shohei's thrown all year. Yeah, to him.
World Series Game 1, Dodgers, Blue Jays coverage starts at 7. We're here to make our picks.
I think, oddly, if there's any team from the AL that is built to give the Dodgers problems, it's the Blue Jays. With their low strikeout rate, high batting average, high on-base percentage, and the only way to give the Dodgers problems is to get to their bullpen. So I think we are going to get a classic 7-gamer that in Toronto, the Blue Jays win their first championship in 32 years, and the Blue Jays prevent baseball's first back-to-back champion since the Yanks.
Interesting. Brou, do you want to go? Or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go. I also see an epic World Series. You got several studs and great players. But I'm thinking of Shohei and I'm thinking of Vlad Jr. But I'm going with Shohei and the Dodgers in 7.
Oh, that was
closing them out in Toronto. Yes.
Unfortunately, I tried to come up with several reasons why I thought the Blue Jays could win to try to be interesting. I didn't find enough. When the Dodgers are pitching better than the prime Atlanta Braves, than Christy Mathewson, than the prime Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling Snakes, I got to go Dodgers. 28 earned runs in 10 games. It's like,
see, that feels like this is one of those.
How many games?
Almost 2 in 6. It says
You got 6.
that it feels like almost due to cool off.
I have a follow-up stat from Jeff
quick.
Patterson. Outside of Ohtani and Teoscar, everyone else has 4 home runs and 301 at-bats. So
those guys are reverse too. Okay, yeah.
First things first, overtime coming up.
BTW, FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radio pain. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
Well, it's 5 o'clock on a Friday. That means it's time for a little first things first overtime. Today, can the Bears keep their win streak alive against Brou's Ravens? And will they appear on one of the hottest segments in all of sports? More accurate, actually. That's upset alert. I'm sorry. Yeah. One of the more accurate segments in all of sports. Perfect week.
1 week.
Perfect week.
Perfect week, Danny.
Perfect week. We support him. It's for the show. It's for overtime.
I'll tell you this much.
Bite.
I support Danny in every way I can, and I love being a part of this, except for 5 minutes on Friday when I root for his utter failure and embarrassment.
Okay.
Well, that's just true.
Also,
it'll be tough for you this week.
Yeah.
World Series Game 1 tonight on Fox. Can the Dodgers go back-to-back? Coverage starts at 7 from Toronto. But right now, of course, we're talking about Danny's guy. Since you showed up, we do a lot of Justin Herbert stuff.
Well, talking about a top 3 quarterback in the league. It's a good
Top
idea.
No.
3.
Are you serious?
Gotta stop. You've got to stop.
Did you see the game last night?
We're doing
Please
a Justin Herbert
stop.
segment.
Yeah.
Final score 37-10. He did throw 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he did.
Here's Harbaugh.
You guys were violent and came out of here. You were the physical team. The way you guys were rolling off the ball, offensive line, defensive line, that was one physical job. Leadership, the leadership of this team, K-Mac, Justin, Bose, Joe Alt, Dayon, all the guys. I felt that was a player-led type of game.
We cut the team high five out of that video. We had it earlier.
Your faith restored. You never really lost faith.
That's right.
A little bit.
You weren't. You were a little shaky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
there was
injuries.
certainly some. What do you
come
want
up here
from him?
now,
He lost all
right,
these
with your
injuries,
chest
all
out.
this stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Objectively correct.
Is this fair? Your faith in the Chargers was shaken. Your faith in Herbert was not.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's what's
If
accurate.
everybody on a team gets hurt,
you
the
go
quarterback
15-2
might
and make
play
the Super Bowl.
The quarterback might play a little worse. Right?
A little worse.
He might play a little worse. And then now he's back. I heard Brou, you earlier said Joe Alt returned.
Yeah.
And they're 4-1, right? Or 4-0 with Alt.
4-1 when Alt's playing.
Yeah, exactly. But it goes deeper than that in terms of like, man, he was under pressure last night. and he was running around, making plays, but Alt was back. So he wasn't under the most pressure in the league. We can show you. Last night, Justin Herbert was pressured 38% of the time, which is above league average. So I just made it 40. I'm saying, can you keep Justin Herbert to only be pressured slightly above average? 4 out of 10 times he drops back. If you do, he is an MVP candidate, the column on the left. But when he lost both tackles and a guard and had another the third string tackle who was going in and out, it was the right-hand column, and they struggled. So all I'm asking for is below average offensive line play. Not the worst in the league. And he'll be fine.
That is so, I'm sorry.
What
That's
do you mean?
so disingenuous.
What are you talking about? That is what happens.
Because you're not asking for below average offensive line play.
Slater's gone.
Last year, hold on a second.
Okay.
Last year, when it was Herbert and Harbaugh, it's a smarter offense. He had 3 picks all year, all of it.
Yeah.
He had all-pro left tackle, top 5 tackle. They made all this investment in the offensive line. And at no point was the argument, well, we need to temper the enthusiasm because he has the best offensive line situation imaginable.
Yeah.
Because they have made more of an investment there than anywhere. So now we cannot reverse engineer it to all we've ever asked for Justin Herbert is give him an average offensive line.
Wait a second, though, Nick. But now, this year, he leads the league in passing attempts and yards.
Yeah. I actually don't think that's good for him or the team. I don't think I think that leading the league in attempts which will then lead to leading the league in yards, is not their method of winning. One of the reasons they looked so good last night was because they had a competent running game for the first time in the last few weeks. Like, I'm not I think Herbert played really well yesterday. I think Herbert's a good to really good quarterback. I think calling him top 3 is bananas. Well, and it just feels to me like, and this is my frustration with Herbert. With the Herbert conversation, not with the Herbert the guy. Yeah. When
your frustration with me.
But what you represent. Okay. When they are bad, it is always everyone else's fault. And when they are good, it's Justin Herbert did it. And that, to me, is not really the full story of how the Chargers have been built or their story of this season. And so, like, the whole Slater's out when all the preseason picks were made knowing Slater was out.
Right, but then Alt got hurt, but then the backup tackle Pipkins got hurt, and then Hampton got hurt. Like, everyone else around him kept going. I said when Slater was hurt, I said on the show, like, that's not enough to make excuses for him this year. But when the other tackle got hurt, and then the third string tackle got hurt, it became too much, and he was the most pressured quarterback in the league. We saw what happened to C.J. Stroud when he was the most pressured quarterback in the league. It plummeted. For Herbert, it dipped.
So where do you see him this?
Well, what
does faith restored mean?
Well,
it means like, they're gonna fall to the Chiefs and make it interesting and lose.
Well, because Nick's not upset at me enough on a Friday. I just
don't.
I did it for you, buddy.
Don't.
No. Let's show it to him because we're back. We're back on pace.
We're not on pace.
We are.
I thought we got rid of this.
No. But I mean,
Will somebody burn that graphic? I mean, come on.
The touchdown interception ratio is basically the same.
It was a different
the
game.
Yards, completion percentage, still behind on the wins. But I have a question for you. What you saw last night with Alt back, with the running game, Hampton still coming back, the defense getting healthier, a blowout win over a Minnesota team. If we could show the Chargers schedule real quick.
Yeah.
You don't think this team can get to 12 wins?
No.
At 5-3?
No.
Titans, Steelers at home, Jaguars, Raiders, Cowboys, Texans, Broncos. That's 12.
It's on the board.
I'm not giving them a win over the Eagles, Chiefs, or Cowboys on the road.
Hold on. Right, but you're saying all of the 50-50 games they'll win. They are. So you have them losing what? 2 more games? Just Chiefs, Eagles?
Yeah.
To get to 12?
There you go.
So a 50-50 game against the Steelers, a 50-50 game against the Jags, a 50-50 game against the Cowboys, a 50-50 game against the Broncos. They're not sweeping. Look, the flip side of that is this is what they've already done. What they've already done is they lost a 50-50 game to Washington. They lost a 50-50 game to the Colts. They won a 50-50 game against the Broncos. No, I don't think they're going. You think they can win 12 games?
I think they can win 12 games. Absolutely.
Well, okay. Look, I mean, that's stunning.
I don't think you're crazy because I like the Chargers too. I think you're going a little overboard on the Herbert-Peyton comparisons. But I like the Chargers, and I do think with all that they are a very good team. And Herbert is, he's starting to throw, like he threw an interception last night. We talked about it earlier. He was fortunate on that early when it looked like it was an interception to me. Yeah, exactly. So I think they are back. Not quite as good as I thought they were when they beat the Chiefs, and the second win looked great over the Raiders. So I think they're going to make the playoffs. Nick doesn't agree with that. I do think they're. Well, I'm locking them in.
Right, you're locking them in for the playoffs. I'm not locking them out.
I'm not locking them in as a team that can get to the Super Bowl. I don't think they can get to the Super Bowl yet.
I mean, 12 wins will probably win them the division.
Yeah, because the 12 is the ceiling. 10 to 12 wins, but they can get to 12.
12 because the Chiefs would have to only lose one game the rest of the way to get to 13, and I don't think the Chiefs will win the tiebreaker with the. No, I'm saying if the Chiefs finish with the same record as the Chargers will likely win the division, because the Chargers, the best Chiefs can do is split with them and in the divisional record. I think that we are going to see the Chargers fighting for 9-10 wins, and at the end of the yeah, I mean I think the Chargers are going to be who they have been every year of Justin Herbert's career. That team sure does seem unlucky, and we know whose fault it isn't, and and I've seen nothing this year that dissuades me from that. We are not far removed from it looking like the Chargers were about to lose to the Miami Dolphins, and blaming that on not having Joe Alt is to me. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The defense is getting healthy. I mean, you got Khalil Mack back.
Joe Alt just might be the Chargers MVP. I might be a Joe Alt guy.
Really?
The numbers are amazing, so maybe it is Joe Alt. All right, it's time now for one of the most accurate segments in all of sports. It's Parkins Picks. Take a listen.
I am seeing the NFL very clearly. This is the official pick segment. I plug into the matrix. I see the league clearly. I'm not going to let 3-0 change me. I'm not scared of picking big games. Taking the points with Detroit. Play in the wood with the Chicago Bears. Easy, easier, and easiest. I know that I'm right.
Perfect week. Congratulations yet again.
Thank you. This is my recap. Well, there we go. 3-0.
Wow.
It was easy. I mean, I can't.
You are seeing the league clearly.
Thank you, Brou, for noticing. Nick, I can't even decide which one of those was the easiest. Like, there was no sweat anywhere on the board.
He bet against the worst teams in the league.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We saw how it worked out for him. I mean, man, 12-9, seeing the league clearly, getting that percentage.
What are you seeing this week? It's so clearly.
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked me and not the guy who went 1-2 last week. Big yikes, this guy to my left. Well, let's go to week 8, please. I, too, am taking the Dallas Cowboys with the points plus 3.5. And I really don't like, because I watch your show, that Nick is on the same side of this one. But here's the thing. Everyone talks about the Broncos defense, and it is good on paper, but they're really good against really bad teams. They destroy the Titans, Bengals, and Jets, hold them to under 9 points per game and 0 touchdowns allowed. When they played the Colts, Chargers, Eagles, and Giants, 11 touchdowns, 25 points per game. I think the Cowboys' offense is obviously much more in line with the Colts, Chargers, Eagles, and Giants. Dallas will put up points. They will have a shot to win outright, certainly cover the 3.5. The next
Good
one.
Pick. Oh, I like that pick.
Oh, you like that
pick?
Here you go, buddy. Hold this.
Gosh darn it.
Falcons
We got the
minus
same
7.5 against the Dolphins. This was locked in before I saw your segment. Christina can attest. Here's the thing. We should be talking about this guy more. Bijan Robinson. He's on pace to shatter the yards from scrimmage record this year, passing Chris Johnson, Marshall Faulk, and Christian McCaffrey. Nearly 2,600 yards from scrimmage is what he's pacing for. He is a running back. Seems like it would be a good opportunity to go up against the worst run defense in the NFL, which is the Miami Dolphins. Algier gets into the end zone. Bijan gets into the end zone. The Falcons are a top 10 team in yardage, but a bottom 10 team in scoring. They just haven't gotten it done in the red zone this year. That changes this week against the Miami Dolphins. And last but not least, we've been talking about it all week. Bears plus 6.5. in Baltimore. Now, I could talk about the Bears' running game out of the bye, which has been much better. I could talk about the Bears' run defense out of the bye, which has been much better. But the Ravens have a bottom 3 defense in the NFL. The last time Caleb Williams played a bottom 3 defense in the NFL, it wasn't so bad. 4 touchdowns, no picks, 300 yards, 10.5 yards per attempt. If you get the running game going, the run defense going, didn't love the Bears injury report today with Kyler Gordon and Tyreek Stevenson both out in the secondary. Lamar should cook. I do like the over at 49.5. But Bears plus 6.5 is the winner. That's 3-0. That moves me to 15-9 on the season. We're back approaching 65% after this week. You all know it's correct.
I hate that I agree with all these picks.
I hate that you agree with all of these picks.
What? No, they're good. I like them as well.
Oh, wow. The only person who I assume would disagree, I have to, Wilds, if you don't mind, I've been watching the show.
Sure.
All
What's
week.
happening?
Well, those are the picks.
Yeah.
Brou, you wouldn't guarantee the Ravens' victory.
Right.
You put the Ravens on the bud list.
Yeah.
And you talk about how the season isn't over for Baltimore.
Right.
If they lose to the Bears, I don't know, buddy. Sounds like you might be scared of the Bears. A lot of your rationale is Baltimore-based. I think you might be a little scared of the Bears.
Scared?
Scared of the Bears.
Of the Bears?
That's the allegation,
It
sir.
does, Wilds, does it feel
You fast
a
forward,
little
like,
bit?
Look, if they lose, like you've spent a decent amount of time on the show talking about if they lose, look, 1-6. Remember, I read the graphic. They're like, oh, there's still 28% chance you have a point.
You've noticed that, right?
I am not in any way, shape, or form afraid of the middling Chicago Bears.
4-game win streak.
And for the time being, their middling quarterback, Caleb Williams. I am a tad bit concerned about the Ravens' defense. But I would be concerned. Ain't no exposing. We know what they are. I would be concerned if they were playing the bad news Bears, let alone the Chicago Bears, because the defense has had one decent game, one decent showing. I'm hopeful that defense will continue to play well as that did against the Rams. But no, it has nothing to do with the Chicago Bears. Because you talked about, that revamped run defense. Is it really revamped? Because it's still 25th in the league
Grady Jarrett
defensively, and I think 28th against the run. They still give up nearly 5.5 yards per rushing attempt. And guess who the Ravens have in the backfield? Guy named Derrick Henry.
Do they?
All right. Yeah. Especially when you got to worry about Lamar Jackson taking off.
So that to me is kind of the under-discussed, one of the more under-discussed stories, not about this week, but thus far this season, is this year, how good is Derrick Henry? Because
he's got 2 games over 100 yards.
Yeah, so he was unbelievable in week 1, right?
Unbelievable.
And we've had a lot of discussions about Saquon's drop-off.
Yep.
And we've had a lot of discussion with the Ravens about Lamar's injury, about ping pong, and about their defense.
Yeah.
There have been fewer discussions about the fact that when Lamar got hurt, we weren't initially, I at least wasn't, Brou. In fact, I know I wasn't because one of my losing picks was I picked Baltimore plus the points against Houston. Right. The game they got blown out. With the thought process being, coaching, we all discussed, going to give Derrick Henry the ball 35 times. You know what I mean? It's going to be an old Tennessee Titans style.
One of the best defenses in the league.
100%. But is it
do the next
not
week?
At all a little concerning that Derrick has, similar to Saquon, had a drop-off from last year? Not as substantial as Saquon's, but Derrick was 1,900 yards last year. And to me, post-week 1, has not looked like that guy.
I don't think he's what he was last year, but I think he's got plenty left. Like you said, he was phenomenal against Buffalo. 2 weeks ago, what he went for, 120-something. And, again, bring Lamar. Like, his last year in Tennessee wasn't, like, something you predict he was going to go for 1,900 plus. But when you have Lamar there and teams have to worry about him, now all of a sudden everything else is opened up for Derek. So, yeah, I think the offense, Danny, the Ravens offense is going to cook, and I think they're going to win. I expect them to win, but the defense, we got to see because they've only played one decent game all year. But no, scared.
A little.
No. Again, it has nothing to do with the Bears. The Bears are the perfect opponent for this week.
Why?
Perfect.
Because they're
good,
a decent team, where if you win, you feel like,
good.
okay, it's a but they're not too good where it's like, okay, we got another, juggernaut that we got to beat. And they're not too bad where it's like, okay, we beat the Browns.
Yeah.
We beat the Saints or whatever. So this will be a good win.
I think this could be a Ben Johnson in his bag game. I think Ben Johnson has just been scouring film of this Ravens porous defense.
The defense concerns.
Old Ben Johnson is back. He might have a little something special.
Offensive lineman touchdown week?
Ooh.
I like that. Hasn't happened yet.
Do the Bears?
We're not going 0 for 17.
Hold on.
No chance.
Can I ask a question?
Chance.
If this gets ugly in the other direction, which I don't think anyone's predicting, meaning the Bears are up, they're up 10 in the fourth quarter and scored a touchdown. Is there a chance they have a celebration of pretend ping pong?
Little table tennis.
Little ping pong.
Your boy shouldn't have done that. Trust.
Little poke into the Bear situation,
Do you think that was a coincidence or no? Do we have that video?
I do not think it was a coincidence. No.
No, it wasn't a coincidence.
No, I don't think it was a coincidence.
Either unwise or
awesome.
Hilarious.
Yeah. It's either one of the two.
Y'all see that,
I don't think they look at the Ravens. Brou said, and I know we have to go. Brou said that the Bears are middling. I think the Bears look at the Ravens as you'd kill to be middling. You strive for middling, and I just don't think they're scared of that team right now.
If I disagree with kind of the silliness of taking all the stuff out of the building, Pop-A-Shot. You can't concentrate if there's a Pop-A-Shot.
That's true.
Pop-A-Shot.
That's true.
Pop-A-Shot is fantastic. Coming up after the break, Greg Jennings, Willie Colon join the show, talk a little World Series, and talk about the expectations for Aaron Rodgers in his not a revenge game against the Packers. That's next on the
Danny
OT.
takes off this ridiculous
I like
robe
that.
and
It's a
chain.
good look, I think.
CRM was supposed to improve customer relationships. Instead, it's shorthand for can't resolve much. Which means you may have sunk a fortune into software that just bounces customer issues around but never actually solves them. On the ServiceNow AI platform, CRM stands for something better. With AI built into one platform, customers aren't mired in endless loops of automated indifference. They get what they need, when they need it. Bad CRM was then. This is ServiceNow.
Welcome back to FTF. Let's talk a little baseball before the World Series tonight. Really, we just have to get on the record. We got a Cubs fan, Willie Colon, a Yankees fan, Greg Jennings, a Tigers fan. Blue Jays can win their first World Series since '93. Dodgers trying to go back-to-back. Coverage, of course, begins in just a little bit here on Fox. I think the Dodgers are overwhelming. I think they are an overwhelming team. So I know people go, their bullpen isn't great. It's still fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. And I think they hit their floor for wins this year in the regular season, and then they've been peaking in the postseason. So I got the Dodgers winning this series. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. Look, the Blue Jays have been amazing. It would be a fun story, but I actually like the best player in the game actually being the best player in the biggest moments. And so with Shohei, with the Dodgers,
tough to pick against.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. Being a Yankee fan,
course
watching
you
the
are.
Dodgers back in the World Series,
You
it's a
can't
lot
do it.
for me. Ohtani's a demigod. For me, it's Freddie Freeman. He's the boogeyman. I know he's going back to Canada, where he's from. He's batting in the 3-hole right behind Ohtani and Betts, so prime real estate. I just don't want to see the Dodgers win, but I will pick the Dodgers to win.
So it's a clean sweep from us for the Dodgers. So congratulations to the Blue Jays on their upcoming World Series victory. I get it, man. They're really good. To the NFL, all eyes on Aaron and the Packers. Fun storylines galore. Packers Steelers Sunday night. Aaron yesterday said it's not a revenge game for him. No animosity against his old franchise. Micah Parsons is now with Green Bay. Was asked what it's going to be like to face Aaron Rodgers. Here's what he had to say.
look at Aaron. They got so much experience. They've seen every look, every disguise. So, we just got to make a challenge and confuse it and just get after them. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a tough matchup, but you always get excited for those when you're playing GOATs like that.
So I think we're in an interesting spot here. Because the question is going to be, is Aaron going to go off? Is he going to have a big game against the Packers? And not to give away anyone's answer, but we've talked about this game all week.
Yeah.
I feel like we all like where Aaron is at and where the Steelers are at. Like, quickly, yes? Offensively?
Yeah. Give me a little more sugar on that.
I am impressed with the formula that, like, he's not getting hit.
Correct.
He's not getting sacked.
Okay.
He's getting the ball out, and they're moving it. It's not the most explosive offense in the NFL, but it actually does seem like, is Aaron going to survive the year? Yeah. And then the defense can round into form and start playing up to their potential. Like, I expect Rodgers to have a good game Sunday.
I do expect him to ball out. I also solely believe that he came back and didn't and pushed retirement off the table solely because he knew he was going to play the Green Bay Packers. And before he walked out of this door, he said, I want one more shot at them.
Wow.
And so this is his opportunity. You talked about it yesterday. If there's a game that Aaron Rodgers circled, it was this one.
Yep.
And so for the guys in the locker room, they know what this means to Aaron, and they also know what this means from them after blowing it against the Bengals because they know they need this momentum to go into the Colts game because the Colts are red hot. So if you're the Steelers right now, and if you're Aaron Rodgers, you need this game, and he needs to play big because there was so much talk about what he can no longer do. And after a couple weeks, we see he's still him.
So for me, I don't think he came back for the reasons you believe. I think he saw a situation where he could be good, didn't have to carry the load. That's exactly what he's been asked to do. Get the ball out of his hands. He knows where he is in his career. He's realistic with that, but he can still throw it and be as sharp and as accurate as anybody in the game. That's why I believe that he's going to have a good game. When you play against a team that you have pledged your loyalty to pretty much your entire career, he talks about it. It's been a love affair. It's been a love fest all week. He's talked glowingly about them. However, when I go to work, I'm trying to figure out every way I can puncture them and then wound them. By the end of the game, I have the upper hand so that I can then put the dagger in them. Like, that's Aaron Rodgers. Like, the competitor of who he is going to come out. It's going to be on full display.
Is he the most competitive person you ever played with? He's got to be on the short list.
He's definitely on the short list. I could name a couple other more competitive players, myself being one of them.
Okay, fair enough.
But I didn't play with myself. But to focus on this, like, what he's being asked to do in Pittsburgh is not shoulder the load. It's like, okay, be what we need you to be, but lean on these guys. Trust these guys. Trust the fact that if we get the ball out of your hands and you get it into DK's hand, he can make the place bigger than what we started it off to be. And that's what's been interesting and intriguing about this offense, because they don't throw the ball down the field and just explosive play you all day, all game long, but they do dink and dunk, and it can frustrate pass rushes like Micah Parsons in that Green Bay.
But to your point, that's what they're going to have to do to beat the Packers. They got to stay out of second and long and third and long, because that's if you get into that position, that's when the Packers come to hunt. I think for Aaron Rodgers, what I've been most impressed about is his usage of the tight ends, Jonnu and Fairmouth, and how he's able to eat up the middle of the field. I like where the Steelers at from which, as you explained it. My biggest concern with Aaron Rodgers right now is I want to see him not feel like he has to put on the cape solely because he's playing the Packers. Like, just finish the game. Keep it tight. I'm okay with having a boxing mentality. Jab, 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 haymaker, win the ball game.
Well, the thing is, if the Steelers were getting out of their defense what they are paying for from their defense, this would be more than enough offensively for us to look at them as a real contender. Like, you got Mike Tomlin as the coach. You spend more money on the defensive side of the ball than anyone. We can all rattle off the name. Hayward and Porter and Watt. Like, we can keep going on and on. Everybody can name the names of the Steelers' defensive players, and it's like, they got lit up by the Jets.
Yeah.
Flacco put a big number on them. Like, you know, like if the Steelers' defense woke up and was the Steelers' defense, and then Rodgers just stayed the exact same, we'd believe in it. But I will say this too: whoever wins this game Monday morning, we're going to view it as a very impressive win. Like, either side of it, Green Bay or Pittsburgh, we're going to be like, wow, okay, that's a early season signature win for that team that we'll be referencing a month from now, 2 months from now.
Yeah, but I think this is a must-win from the standpoint I stated earlier. You don't want to go against the Colts down 2. You know what I mean? Like you want the momentum because of how hot they're playing. So for me, I think the Packers will be fine. They'll be fine if they happen to lose to the Steelers. I think Pittsburgh's in trouble if they lose to the Packers.
Yeah, Packers the 1 seed right now at 4-1-1 in the NFC. Meanwhile, Josh Allen and the Bills face the Panthers coming off a bye. And oh my Josh! Hashtag Christina. Bills lost 2 in a row heading into the bye. Allen never lost 3 in a row in his career. Kind of amazing. He was asked about his expectation on the Bills responding off the loss.
Not just overlooking some of the smaller things that are going on within the games and within practice, and making sure that we're, again, staying together and coming together. You know, staying together is one thing, but coming together after 2 losses is a completely different thing, and it takes a lot of resilience and it takes a tight unit to do that. So, you know, that's what we're trying to do.
So I'm expecting a statement game from Josh Allen. Like I'm expecting the Bills against Carolina to look like the Eagles did against Minnesota. Whereas like Jalen Hurts had a perfect passer rating. And it was like they had lost 2 games in a row, and it was, are they gonna 2023 Eagles it or 2024 and just bounce back and they bounced back.
Yeah.
I think this was, the turnovers were weird. The back-to-back losses were weird. Like, their defense has problems, no question about it. But, like, on the offensive side of the ball, coming out of a bye, a quarterback who has never once lost out of a bye, I expect Josh Allen to put on a show against Carolina.
So I think they're going to be ready to play. I just strangely like this Carolina defense in the spot that they're in because they're protected by how they run the ball offensively. And when you run the ball against this team, the Buffalo Bills, they can't stop the run. The numbers suggest that. And so, like, Josh Allen has always been the reason why this team has been great, the reason why we see this team great. But defensively, they've been better than this. And if this is what continues to show up, well, if you're an offense that can't really pass in the Carolina Panthers, well, shoot, I want to play this team. I want to be who we are, the brand of football that we play, which is run the ball, in particularly at home, where we're undefeated, where we rush the ball better than anybody in the National Football League. So that's what you have to be up against. It's not just about Josh Allen being a superhero, because we've seen that we've seen him put on this act often. And this is why he's the reigning MVP. This year has been a little different because the weapons just haven't shown up in the way that we saw them show up last year. And I know Kincaid and I'm drawing a blank on their other tight end with the Bills. They've been good, but outside of that, not even Shakir. Shakir hasn't even been what he's been in the passing game. So I don't know if Josh Allen can even have that type of game that Jalen Hurts had because he doesn't have those type of weapons.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, DP. You know, Josh Allen reminds me of my phone, like my phone when it's on 100%. It's brighter, faster, and ready to go. You know, so I like your standpoint because it's like, hey, you need this game because you're the Bills. We have you already seated at the table. I want this game to be over by halftime because you're Josh Allen. Like, I don't want this to be any level of competition.
Like they did with the Dolphins.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, like they did with the Saints. Oh, I'm sorry, like they, yeah.
But my point is,
it's been ugly.
but so that you lead into my point. If we believe they are them, this game shouldn't be close. Because if this is a dogfight for the Bills, I'm starting to question who Josh Allen is and what this team is this year.
Well, that's the thing. If Greg is right, like if your upset alert pick is right, and out of a bye, it's McDermott's first ever loss out of a bye. It's Allen's first ever loss out of a bye. It's Allen's first time ever losing 3 games in a row, and they lose as a 7-point favorite in Carolina.
It's a problem.
We're going to be like, ooh, the Patriots going to win this division?
Right.
Like fighting for a wild card at best in Buffalo. Like it will be the biggest story in the NFL.
Yeah, which I think will be. It's not the end of the world. Like I have this team representing the AFC in the Super Bowl.
But you can't think that if they lose to Carolina. Because Josh Allen's greatest trait is tempo and him playing physical.
So this is where I differ, because I don't care who you are. No one looks at your resume of how'd you get here and see who you lost to or who you won against. No, they only care that you got there. And so if they do lose this game, yes, it will sting in this moment, but there's a whole course of the season left. And one last thing, when you have the Chiefs, like, to follow this game, it is hard not to peek around that corner and say, hey guys, you know who we got the following week, and look ahead. it's a thing.
You also don't want to be down 3 going against the Chiefs.
Yeah, that feels like
that feels different.
Yeah, but listen, if they look ahead past Carolina and lose out of the bye, I'm not going to be picking them to beat the Chiefs.
Right, 100%.
I'll tell you that.
I'm with you.
But hey, Philly bounced back in a big way like we just mentioned, and now they get a chance at revenge against the Giants. How's that offensive game going to look against New York? Coming up, we'll discuss next on FTF. Catch Kevin Burkhardt's full interview with Shohei Ohtani tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern on Fox, ahead of Game 1 of the World Series. To Philly, the Eagles host the Giants. A.J. Brown, big news here, officially ruled out against the Giants with a hamstring injury. We saw the passing game explode last week. Of course, A.J. Brown was a big part of that against the Vikings. Saquon Barkley ran for just 44 yards. Here's Saquon Barkley.
I don't think it defines me as a player. I still know what I bring to the table, but I do know we have to be more efficient in the run game, and that's something that we're focusing on. But at the end of the day, our whole goal is to go 6-2 and win another football game. So whatever that looks like, that's the only thing that matters.
So obviously, guys, last time the Giants upset the Eagles. Should the focus for Philly's offensive attack be passing or running, Greg?
Well, look, I did a little piece of tape on it earlier this week. Like, I believe right now where they are, they have to pass the ball to open more things up. And it doesn't mean you have to pass more than you run. It's just you have to be intentional about what those pass attempts look like. Push the ball down the field like they did against the Minnesota Vikings, allowing not only that to assist you in the running game, but to assist you even with everything underneath in the passing game. That's who this team has shown us they are this year. They are not a run-first team. Sometimes you want something versus and you do that versus doing the thing that's needed in this moment. And right now, what they have shown us is they're a better offense when they throw the ball first and then establish the run after.
Yeah, the Eagles got to go get their chain back. They got Debo'd on Thursday Night Football in MetLife Stadium. To me, it's about Saquon. Your DNA is running the football, and this is about Saquon and Jalen Hurts. I understand having this kind of new, fresher breath air when it comes to the passing game, but it's about balance. It's not about what you were last year. It's about how you evolved. So I appreciate that they can throw the football, but when it comes January and you need yards and you need somebody to show up, Saquon has to be that guy. Every offensive lineman knows. Get the running back's feet to the line of scrimmage and let them work for there. They have to get back to playing that brand of football. Jalen Hurts is another addition to this run game. I would love to see more design runs with him, but I think Saquon got to get going. They need balance, and part of that balance is being able to run the ball.
So I think they definitely want to do what you're saying.
They do.
Right.
That's what
yeah. It's what
so go do it.
Yeah, but can't there's some crazy stuff about the Eagles this year. Saquon Barkley has not run for 90 yards in a game.
Yeah.
Right.
He does not have one run of 20 yards or more this year. He has one game in which he's averaged 5 yards per carry, and it was against Denver, and he only ran the ball 6 times. So, Willie, I hear you. I think that's what they want to do, especially with A.J. Brown out. But I don't know that they can right now.
Yeah, but we all know the reason for that suppression is because they've been loading the box. I think that was the biggest thing about Minnesota. They realized they cannot load the box against the Eagles because they can throw the football. Now with it on tape, and that's their current resume, I expect the run game to be better this week.
So no, when you play a division opponent and we just bully balled you, basically making y'all quit, we stopped the run. Saquon had his first 2 runs in that Giants game. Yeah. We thought, oh shoot, he's back, they're back, and then nothing the rest of the game. You can't go in there with that mentality of, yeah, we're just gonna beat up on you. It doesn't always work. When it doesn't work, you have to counter. You have to throw a different punch. That's what the Eagles have had success with, throwing the different punch, throwing the counter, which is the passing game. Stop acting like you can't be what you need to be because you are so infatuated with being what you want to be.
You didn't bring Saquon Barkley here just to be a music instrument. At the same time,
and why did you bring A.J. Brown? Why did you pay A.J.? Why did you pay
because he could be a receiver
Smith?
One? But you also brought the missing piece was Saquon Barkley. That was the missing piece to this offense.
Oh my, Willie, I understand this. This is what I'm saying. When Saquon was acquired, the excitement was acquired last year.
Yeah.
It was exciting because, man, he's in addition to what we already have. all these weapons. Now all of a sudden you want to dismiss and discount
No, I'm not saying
all
that.
these other
I'm not saying
weapons.
to miss them at all. What I'm saying is don't forget about them. That's what I'm saying.
No, you can't forget they run the ball more than they throw. Even last week when we saw them have success in the passing game, they still rushed the ball more
But now
times.
that they prove they can throw the football, I'm saying now the run game has to be addition to that. That's what I'm saying.
I will just say this: the game that they played against the Giants last time, that was a weird one. Like that
They got bullied. You're right.
That was the game that they ran the tush push 4 times in a row and weren't successful.
Look,
when
I
Hurts
get all that.
overthrew Devontae,
But you got to go
nothing
get
worked for them.
The Eagles walked off that field, to your point, feeling bullied.
They quit.
And beat. Tap, I give you that. So this is round 2 for you. Go get your lick back.
Yeah.
But if you do it running the ball. That's how that's the sort of minimum for me.
But if you can't run the ball, you better do it by any means.
If you can't run the ball right now against this Giants team, coming off that win against Minnesota, there's bigger issues.
Well, that's, I think, the possibility. I think that we have to be open to the possibility that there are bigger issues.
Yeah.
Right? I think
I'm serious.
Right? We have to be open to that possibility. All right. Can we talk a little Bears?
Let's do it.
Talk a little Bears.
Oh,
There's 4 wins in a row. I'm just saying we should mention it.
I thought Herbert was going to be on the deck.
Yeah, we got that in the A block. 4 wins in a row for the Bears, 4 losses in a row for the Ravens. Lamar, though, is back after the hamstring injury. It's just fun to put Caleb Williams' name next to Lamar Jackson. So if we can take a look at their season so far, I mean, yeah, Lamar's better. He's better. He's multiple-time MVP. He's one of the players of his generation. But the question is, can Caleb outplay Lamar? And obviously, he's not better than Lamar. And Kyler Gordon and Tyreek Stevenson being out in the Bears secondary is bad. I expect there to be a ton of points in this game. And obviously, the Ravens need the game.
Answer the question, Danny.
I'm just saying the Ravens defense is bad. And Caleb,
that ain't answering the question.
Yeah,
Danny,
Caleb,
read the bar.
Chances Caleb outplays Lamar Sunday? 22.5% chance. yeah, there's a chance. Of course there's a chance. Do I expect him to outplay Lamar individually? No, but thankfully it's not boxing. Like, the Bears can beat the Ravens even if Lamar outplays Caleb. But because the Ravens defense is so bad, Caleb can outplay Lamar. There's a chance. You're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah,
1 in 1,000.
No, there's not a chance.
More like 1 in a million.
He's not playing. He's not
Lamar
going
is just a better processor of the game right now.
Yeah,
and
he
I
is.
think with him, Lamar in the lineup, this team is going to be juiced up because their savior just is back on the field. So I see Lamar having a day. Hopefully he stay healthy.
Yeah, if there's one thing we know that this Ravens team can do is put up points and be efficient when Lamar Jackson is out there at the helm. Like, they have no issue throwing the ball, running the ball for that matter. Like, especially when 8 is available.
1 in 3 with Lamar.
Yes.
I mean, that's
yes.
fact.
Just hold on. Kind of like how you were talking about Justin Herbert, albeit they weren't 1 in 3, but he was doing everything. Lamar has been great.
Tongue is firmly
You saw
planted in
those
cheek
numbers. That's in 4 games. Like, so he has not been the problem, but he has to be more. I will be fair. He has to still be more. I don't care how you cut it and slice it. Defensively, can Caleb take advantage of it? That's the question that he needs to answer, because if he doesn't, we're going to all look at this like, well, everybody has taken advantage of this offense. What's
of their
up?
defense.
Well,
Of their defense.
I say this,
Excuse
DP, from your standpoint, you want to see Caleb not have the botched snaps, the bad mechanics, all the sloppy things he should be above.
The pre-snap
all that
issues.
stuff has to get off the tape right now. He has to be clean. He has to be a clean quarterback Sunday.
Given that he hasn't been playing that well and they're on a 4-game winning streak, like, the glass half full approach here is, imagine if he plays well.
What was that percentage again?
22.5% chance he outplays Lamar. Better chance, though, that they win. Even better chance that they cover. And coming up, the record you're going to see broke on Sunday. Dallas and Denver. Time now for first things last. Sunday, the Cowboys travel to Denver to take on the Broncos, and there's one player who you probably aren't thinking much about, and he has a great shot at NFL history. That's Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey. The record for the longest made field goal belongs to Justin Tucker at 66 yards. Aubrey is the best kicker with the strongest leg in the NFL, and he'll undoubtedly get a shot at history in the thin air at Mile High, and we know it can be done. This preseason, Cam Little, the kicker for the Jaguars, connected from 70 in Jacksonville. Aubrey already holds the record for most makes from 60+, making his 5th such kick in just 41 career games. And it's not just Aubrey. Kicking data goes back to 1991. In the 30 years from 91 to 2020, there were 21 makes from 60 plus. In the last 5 years, there have been 24. Prior to 2021, there had only been one season where 2 or more 60-yarders went through. This year, there have already been an NFL record of 6. More long kicks are being attempted, and more long kicks are being made than ever before. And here's the kicker. Apologies for the bad pun. Last year, the NFL rolled out their new kickoff rule, and the unintended consequence on field goals was stark. Last year, there were 27 drives that started with a kickoff, the offense gained 25 or fewer yards, and the drive still ended with a made field goal. That was the most in a season since 2010. This year, with touchbacks now starting at the 35, we're on pace to have 36 such drives, which would be the most this century. Now, I would argue this is not good. When I tune into Cowboys Broncos, I want to see CeeDee Lamb, not Brandon Aubrey. I want 4th down attempts, not field goal attempts. To put it simply, kickers have gotten too good. And when athletes evolve, just like moving back the three-point line or lowering the pitching mound, it's time to change the rules. The good news is there's an obvious solution. Steal from the Arena League. In the NFL, the uprights are 18.5 feet wide. In the Arena League, they're only 9 feet apart. If you narrow the uprights, you'll see fewer field goal attempts. And when kicks are made, it will be more impressive. So when Brandon Aubrey lines up at a chance at NFL history this Sunday, ask yourself if that's really a record worth celebrating. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on First Things First. We'll be back on Monday. See you then.